Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our Friday Witchy Hangout. We do this every single Friday where we get together and we mix our energies together. We ask a juicy question of the universe and we usually have a pretty good time. So today we have a very juicy question. Who wants to FAFO? Who wants to fight? You can look it up if you want to. I think that we aren't allowed to say like cursey words in like the first few minutes of the video, so I'm not going to say it, but I feel like if you've clicked on this video, you probably already know what it means. So we're going to start to dig around there, and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So we do have an anchor card. Hello, hello. We do have an anchor card today. So the anchor card is not an actual choice, but it is a common energy in all of the piles. And if you've been around here before, you know, I feel like we read the cards together. I pick up on general energies, and you might pick up on things that don't resonate with your situation, or additional messages might come through for you, and we can kind of tweeze down together to get to the heart of the matter, the heart of the situation. So the anchor card in this reading is the Lover card. So get a good gander at that. I want to fight low-key. Funny. Okay, so I'm just going to throw up the piles here. So we've got pile number 1, which is the womb, pile number 2, which is the Starborn, and pile number 3, which is the village. So I'll just put that up there. If you haven't already chosen your pile, now is a good time to do that. And even if you have, now is the time where we like to just break all the rules of the internet, close our eyes, take a deep breath, turn the gaze inwards. As they say, one full breath is a meditation. So we'll just kind of get into that space, calm our energy, connect with that part of ourselves that is the observer, the part that moves with us from lifetime to lifetime. It's below the ego. It's below all the things you have to do today. So if you're ready, I'm ready. And we'll just take a moment here. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and be drawn into whatever pile or multiple piles you feel drawn into. And I'll just leave this up here for another second. Hello, guys. Hello. All right. So if you need a little bit more time, you can pause it here, but let's go ahead and move to pile number 1, which is the womb. So pile number 1, Spirit. For pile number 1, who wants to F-A-F-O? Who wants to F-A-F-O? Pile number 1, Spirit. Who is wanting to fight with pile number 1, Spirit? Oh, interesting. Okay, so I just heard those are fighting words, but then I also looked down on this Lover's card. I always kind of get a blockage in the throat with this, so I feel like it could be somebody here. Now, okay, keep in mind in tarot, energies can be flipped, and I think for a lot of you, these energies will be flipped, and so it'll be the person kind of on the other side of this. Find where you are in this circumstance, and I feel like it's the person on the other side. I feel like somebody here hasn't actually said like these words, like I am actually getting that they're not really like a fighting kind of person, you know, but I think something here has gone on. There was like a treatment here. And so this person maybe wants to say something. And I think this person might actually start off with saying the way that they felt, or like, why do you treat me this way? Or, you know, I never felt like you gave me a chance, or, you know, this or that. And I feel like that might actually shock you. Now, again, for some of you, this is flipped around where you are the person who would say this, in which case the person who wants to FA and FO is the person that you would say this to, because the person that I think is being addressed here, I think feels, okay, to be honest, I'm kind of getting that somebody here feels territorial over somebody else's man. And it's like this swan energy. So swans are kind of associated with like love or romance. And I do feel like there's a man here involved in this situation. And maybe there's more than one. Like maybe both of you are like partnered up, or maybe just one of you is. But I feel like there is somehow a man involved in this situation. And I feel like it is actually a variable in this situation as to how one of these people, and I feel like it's this person who like wants to FAFO. Like I think they want to I think they've been very like guarded or like defensive, but I don't think they've been defensive in an offensive way, if that makes sense. And I think that's left just enough ambiguity here in the situation I'm going to say you, but again, these could be switched. I want to say you to misunderstand their personality, because I think that this person's kind of defensive stance towards you, I think you think is this person's personality. And I think you feel that this person is maybe quiet. People are defensive in different ways, like, right? It's like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Sometimes when people are defensive, they can get out ahead of it. They can be defensive in an offensive way. I'm kind of not getting that this person's that way, though. I think they're more reserved, or they're more laid back, or they have not shown, in some way they have not shown their big, shiny personality to you. Like when you guys are alone, or like on a social front, when you guys interact, I don't think that you actually know this person very well. And this could be a kind of situation where maybe you don't know this person very well. And maybe on a subconscious level, again, I'm going to keep with this perspective so that it's not confusing. But for some of you, like, you are the person that I'm describing, but it's this other person, right? That you've kind of had enough of this person. It feels like a lot here is like kind of gone unsaid, but again, there's a treatment, and it feels like this kind of decidedly female treatment, where women, there's like a silent language between us women. It's body language, and it has a lot to do with social stuff. And I feel like something here like that has gone on, where it seems like there's a person who has a problem with another woman. They don't ever say that they have a problem with this woman. They act like they're neutral, or they act like they're helping, or they act like they're open and friendly. And they are, I think, maybe to other people and like to her man, but there is an energy towards her that she's very much aware of. And I don't think that this person, I think they have romantic feelings towards her partner. And so she's in the way, and she's treated in some kind of way like she's in the way, like their relationship is not celebrated, it's not supported. And so there's a lack of context that I feel like this person who has, I want to say there's been a treatment towards this woman, and you might feel like you're this woman. Again, take this however it's resonating, but there's been a treatment here because of like jealousy and ownership and territorialness. And so I don't know if this person has known the man before, or like they could just know them as a couple and they like the guy. They want to get to know the guy, they like him, but they've never really given her a chance, because subconsciously, even like in their mind, they've shaped up in this kind of competitive nature, and they've set up a triangle in their mind of I'm the good one, she's the bad one. And there's something here about like context and nuance that's really missing. So it could be that like right from the moment that they met this woman that's a partner to this man or something. It could also be another way where like if you are the person who has like a partner, this is like an attractive woman that's come in, and maybe she's got a partner, maybe she doesn't, but you feel threatened by her. And that might be because your partner has cheated on you, or it could just be that you're threatened. Again, this is a very human thing to feel these things, so it could be that you feel threatened, or it could be that maybe your man has cheated on you. You know that he would be interested. You know that he would go after her. So you're trying to sabotage her instead of actually kind of, this might be kind of a wake-up call, because I'm getting that this woman is actually nice. Like whoever this woman is, like she's not trying to cause a problem. I feel like she's secure in herself and in her circumstance. So like if she's with a partner, I feel like that's who she wants to be with. If you're with somebody, even if your person is attractive, I think she feels like there are more attractive people in the world that, I think she feels things like, my soulmate's not going to be partnered up with somebody else. God doesn't do stuff like that. Like I think that this woman is actually kind of not a threat, but I think that there's this kind of psychological standoffish sort of nature that this person hasn't really illuminated for themselves, because they have a motive to not like her. And so I think that there's, like I said, been a treatment. Now, this could be something as simple as like, maybe you don't even know these people, but you met this, I don't know, say like you met this person at like a gas station or a restaurant. You saw an interaction between these two people, and you didn't like her tone, or you didn't like the way that she was speaking to him. But this is what I'm saying is like there's something here clouding the brain, because I feel like if people here were feeling like healthy and okay, and I think this might even be on both sides, because she's definitely picking up, like she's bristled because of you. So and I think maybe I'm going to say you, but again, this could be flipped. Some of you observing her or their relationship, it's like, why is he with her? He could do so much better. And what you don't know her, like that's not her actual personality. And he knows that. And she knows that. And there may have even been a conversation here between the two of them where she has said like, I don't know, that person just doesn't like me. I always feel weird around that person. Or he might have even initiated the conversation. Yeah, I know you're always so, you're different around them. You're not like you are when we're together alone, or you're not like you are when we're with our other friends. And I don't think that this lady who feels territorial over him realizes that she's the variable. So every time she's observing, she can only ever observe when she herself is a factor in the situation. She hasn't thought that through because she has a motive not to like this woman, and it's because she wants her man, and it's because she feels competitive towards her. She wants to be seen as superior, and she has to make that happen she tells herself some type of narrative about this woman. And like I said, this could be as simple as like, she's just seen these two kind of interact, but there's a huge context that she's missing. Like these people have been together for 10 years and she doesn't know that maybe he did just cheat on her and they're rebuilding the trust in their relationship. And maybe the woman has a right to have a little bit of an attitude, or she doesn't know that she's been, taking care of the kids all day and he's like been playing Angry Birds in the car while she's like, you don't know, like there's some kind of underlying thing, but he's given the benefit of the doubt in the situation. And he's seen like with a halo and an angelic nature because she wants his body basically. And so it's the kind of pretty privilege, where everything that he's ever done is forgiven. And I think she might know equal amount about both of these people, but he gets painted with a positive brush and she gets painted with a negative brush. And there's no curiosity is like kind of what I'm getting. There's no curiosity now either about her, especially if this man is already known to this other lady and she's the new person. There's no curiosity about her. There's no, in a neutral, like open sort of way. They don't want to get to know her, but they know that he's going to think it's weird if they don't get to know her. So they go through the motions. But this is what I'm saying. There's a decidedly feminine aggression here where it's high social intellect, not used for good, not used for positivity, not used for spiritual enlightenment and, really kind of looking at ourselves in the mirror. No, it's used for social maneuvering. And she's getting the fuck you, like basically. Like this woman understands that it's a no-go because of other little things too, where it's like, you might be perfectly cordial, but she knows. Like, you might be perfectly cordial in her presence, but then maybe you're doing weird things with your body. You're standing a little too close to him. And you might be doing it on purpose to get under her skin in a way that she can't defend herself. And say you're being strange. But I think she has actually spoken to him about it. Because I think if he wasn't going to listen to her and take her seriously I feel like there's some type of beginning of a relationship energy. It's either these two had just gotten into a relationship and so she's new to a scene or it's new, but they're new in a situation. So there's a new friendship or something here between the two of you. But there's something here about the beginning stages of a relationship where there really needs to be that curiosity, that flexibility, that neutrality. And it's kind of just not there. Now, I'm also hearing, because there might be a broader group, and we just watched The Great, that Emmy winning show. But there's they talk about court, royal court, and everybody has to be political and do their little maneuvering. But there's the smart guy in the show who is kind of the political maneuverer, is explaining to Catherine the Great, as she's making her moves to kind of take over things. He's explaining to her why she needs the women on her side, because the women were kind of rude to her when she first came in and she kind of pushed back. And he was like, the women will drip poison into the ears of men until they also hate you. And when men hate women, they dangerous. You don't want to be in a situation like that because men will always want a woman's body. And so he'll say to you yeah, she's absolutely a B, but and that serves his purpose, his selfish purpose, to isolate a woman who is attractive. And he knows they're listening to their women, that she is not protected by the feminine set. So this is a dangerous situation now for this woman, potentially. And so she feels that. And I think something here has gone on for a while, or there could have been something said, there could have been an interaction. So if you just met these people, because I am kind of getting that that's a situation here. Some of you could have, again, you've seen an interaction and there's no context. And that's when she wants to F around and find out, that's what she would say. She would give you the context. If you saw her yelling at her husband, or something here, there's something I'm saying you, but again, the situations could be flipped here, where he's given the benefit of the doubt, I think just because of his gender and that he's attractive, and she's attractive, but her gender is making this a competitive situation. But I think that she would explain to you why what you're observing in her isn't her personality. And if you didn't have an agenda or want something from a situation and you were in your right balanced mind and heart and emotional space, that your brain automatically would have given her a lot more grace, of asking these kinds of questions. She would kind of point out the things that you don't know about her. And so if this is your pile, I just want to say, like, stop and ask yourself, what do you know about her? What do you know about him? Do you know about their financial situation? Do you know how much debt these people are in? Do you know if he gambles on the weekends and that she covers for him? Socially, I mean, like where they are having a private issue and you don't know about it because she's actually a good partner and is trying not to embarrass him, but she is taking on the bulk of the load. Do you know whether or not he's cheated on her? Do you know what the labor distribution is between the two of them? My guess is that you don't. Or there's something here maybe to do with pain, because I'm also getting that, like, you know, like when maybe there's something here like that, like when because I am kind of getting, because I keep bringing up a gas station, and this is, nothing bad happened to me in this situation, but I think I've told you guys a story where once Alex and I were on this road trip, and we stopped and we got smoothies, and not too long after that, I started to not feel very well, and I do just fine in a car, I don't get car sick or anything, so I was like, oh my God, we have to pull over, because I was pretty sure that I was going to throw up. I mean, I wasn't sure, because I don't like really get car sick, and I hardly ever throw up, but I was like, oh my God, I think that we need to throw up, and I'm extremely like uncomfortable. So we pull over, Alex goes inside to get me like my medicine, and I'm like standing out of the car. I'm desperate. Like I'm in pain and I'm desperate, and I'm trying to like get some fresh air, and I'm walking back and forth around, and I'm squatting and I'm rocking. And you know, when you get like the cold sweats before you like throw up, I'm in that state. And again, nobody approached me like in that state, but if somebody did try to approach me and I'm in that much pain and I'm in that much desperation, I'm not gonna be, you know, okay to somebody, but I projectile vomited, sorry, like in the parking lot. And the reason I'm saying this, I'm mostly just getting this off my chest now, because there's also an Arby's attached to the gas station with a line that like wrapped like all the way around me. So there's like people in line for the Arby's that just like see me just all of a sudden. I wasn't sure that I was going to throw up. I didn't know like why I was feeling this way until I like actually like expectorated in front of all of these people who maybe thought that I got Arby's. I don't know. And then I felt fine after that, you know, and then I felt totally fine. But if somebody was in that kind of state, and people can be in that level of pain and like disarray, and you not know, you know, like maybe it is a physical pain. Maybe they're having back pain or something. They're just in the car for 8 hours and you saw one interaction. You see what I'm saying? There's like a context here that is missing. And if you were dealing with any other person where you didn't want their man, or you didn't want anything from them, or you weren't jealous, or you weren't triggered at all, you would have known that. You would have said, oh my God, are you okay? Or you would have told yourself in your mind, I don't really know what's going on between those two people. But even if you know these people more, because some of you do, and I want to say, if you know these people for longer, I don't think you know these people. And I don't think you know their business. And I think that almost if they were to sit down and talk to you about their business, especially her, that she doesn't, she knows, she seems to know here that you are not listening with an open mind and open heart neutrality because of the way that you respond. This is what I would, if this is your pile and it's resonating the way that I'm saying it and not flipped, like actually think about how you treated her, your body language, like you kind of shut down her conversations, or, so I think that there's some kind of social dynamic here where there's like a social group that you hang out with and you have social power in that group. You have some kind of social capital, meaning you're not a new person in that group that doesn't feel like they can make plans, you know, that's kind of, you're new to that group, and, you know, and somebody like these people are the ones kind of dominantly initiating plans. You feel like you can initiate plans, and you do with this social group. And so I'm kind of getting the sense that like you invite all them to hang out, but you don't invite her to hang out. And if you invite her to hang out, you're going through the motions with her in order to check it off your list to say that, well, you tried. She feels that there's a difference, and you know there's a difference. And there's that feminine kind of where we are dialed into these kind of social differences, because not being protected by the female social set was the kiss of death forever, like for a woman, especially when we didn't have protections by the law, and we didn't have, you know, you lived at like the whim of a man. You either get with a very powerful man, or like the women will actually protect you, like the group will kind of protect you in whatever ways that they can. And to not have that was just, it spelled death or disaster. So this is violence. Like this is actual violence, like what's going on. Because this woman didn't do nothing but have a attractive boyfriend. And I think there's like maybe a story here, especially if like you knew him before, or you just really, really want him. Again, maybe for some of you, this energy is flipped, where it's this lady, she wants to go at you because she feels territorial and romantic towards your man. And it's giving strange because he's your man. And this is the kind of lady too, if the energies are switched, would listen to a tarot reading, hear me say, oh, this person feels territorial and is kind of watching you. And she would assume that I was talking about his partner, because logically the partner is the one who has any kind of ground to stand on, has been invited to have some level of territory over him legitimately to begin with. But I'm getting that the partner is not actually territorial in a way that is unhealthy or in a way that is aggressive. I think if the partner has been territorial, or if there has been like conversations about, let's keep our interactions short with so-and-so, it's because so-and-so has been strange. So-and-so has violated boundaries. So-and-so has been aggressive towards the woman and oh so kind to the man. And that is the behavior that is antisocial and needs to be checked. You can have a crush all you want, but the moment that you start to interlope on somebody is giving fucked up. Why don't you just wait till they break up? It's the issue on the inside going on over there. There's a lack of morality. That person what she's basically saying is that person can't be trusted to police themselves. Their behavior is spilling out every which way. They're noticing that. So I wouldn't call that being territorial. I would just call that being observant, and being socially savvy and intelligent. Whereas this other person is actually feeling territorial, like mine, like that's mine and you shouldn't have it. And so it's envy, it's jealousy, but it's bubbling up as being legitimate. And this is a person who is observing things, but they're casting it all in the wrong context because they are unable to put themselves in context, because they're unable to even just look at themselves and say, I'm extremely jealous right now, so I kind of can't trust my perspective on this. I'm not in a place, maybe somebody just got out of a relationship, like I just broke up with somebody. Whereas if somebody and I think there may even be something that's going on here where it's like, I'm switching back to the original tense, right? Like, so if you were to see this woman, outside of whatever scenario you usually see her, like, because again, you just met this person, you don't know much about her, and you met maybe on some type of neutral turf or wherever you met, or I feel like she's maybe come into your remit. But if you saw her in her remit, like in her own element, around her people, around people that didn't feel insecure around her for whatever reason, because they're secure in themselves, they feel just as attractive. They are in a relationship with somebody they find attractive and like. They're attracted to women, and they're not threatened by her, or they like her in that, if you were around those kind of people around her, I think you would realize that you would see a different side to her that you don't want to see. And I think that would even get misconstrued. Oh, she's so two-faced. No, she's not. She's socially picking up on the fact that she's not wanted. She's misunderstood intentionally. She's not given a fair shake. And so she doesn't blossom and show her true personality. So whatever you're observing in her is this defensiveness that you have made a necessity, is what I want to say. That's why you can F around and find out, because if you were to kind of say something, because I feel like she's maybe tried to move away from you. I think she's tried to deal with it. Like, and especially if this man knows you, just know that she's told him to deal with it in a healthy way. I think, like, where if he is the one who knows you, he needs to be having the conversation, and just know that he dropped the ball and chose not to, but you're probably blaming her. And so, and for him, that might have actually illustrated maybe the way that you behaved actually illustrated that something here is not right, that you were territorial over him. It might have made him uncomfortable. Like, there could be a lot of reasons, legitimate reasons, like why this didn't go the way, because I feel like for her, she probably would have chosen to move away from the situation because she's not given a fair shake. She's not treated well. Who amongst us wants to be around a person and in a social group where we're not given a fair shake, people aren't, where you're not treated well and you don't feel like you can open up your personality. And when you have, it's like, they're not laughing at your jokes. They're not like, when you know, right? Like, so she knows. And so she has just decided no, and I think maybe she was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. So I think and this may have happened where you've actually seen her interact with her friends, or people that like her and believe in her, and notice like, oh, she has a completely different personality than what you thought. It's because what you were observing in her was not her personality. It was her defensiveness. And you put her in a defensive state so that you could judge her unfairly. So that to other people, I think the point is really to kind of heckle or like to get people on side. Don't we all agree that she's bad? So to limit in your mind, again, on a subconscious level, the threat, to mitigate the threat of her. Don't we all think that she's weird? And she's acting weird, but I feel like this is maybe some level of dog whistle abuse, or this is some level of reactive abuse where she's kind of being set up in a way that's silent and that is behind the scenes and not everybody can identify. So that changes her behavior around you at all times. So when you're there and you're present, she's not able to shine. She's not able to be a person. She doesn't have a fair shake at all. And so this is the person who is saying like, that you could F around and find out. And I kind of feel like if this person were to open their mouth and they would give you a golden egg, like this would be a thing where it's like, you need to get your house in order, basically. It's not okay to treat people like this. It actually puts people in danger. The reason why your relationship with this couple or with this masculine, because you would really want a relationship with him, but you wanted him to break up with her. And I think you wanted to be able, but this man, just so you know, either is the problem, okay? Like for some, he's the problem and she's really pulling a lot more of the weight in the relationship and you don't actually see that. And if you saw that to the degree that this man is like broken or like not helping and realize, like you would think, oh, that's actually love, because you would realize like, oh, I just thought he was pretty. Like, I don't want to, I think first maybe your mind would try to find a way to blame it on her. This could be somebody's mom that's doing this to you too, by the way. Or like baby mama or something, like with this womb energy. But yeah, I think that there is this just, I don't know. I think if she did actually like unload on you and actually tell you all the things that you don't know about her. And I feel like there's certain instances where things got really tense or, but in that feminine way, And if she told you what was going on for her behind the scenes and the things that she noticed in your behavior, you would actually be able to put it together. Like it's not, but I feel like you're fixated on her in this negative way. So you would actually realize like, oh shit, like I was not at all viewing her from a neutral lens. I had a motive. She really didn't stand a chance, poor girl. Like she really didn't stand a chance because I had already decided that I wasn't going to like her and that I wasn't going to give her a chance. I didn't want her around. I didn't want her hanging out with the social group. So I either didn't invite her to things and then I was like, why don't you like hanging out here? Why did you stop coming around? Like, it's because you're not throwing the ball back nicely, or you kind of recognized that you needed to do some type of show of it and then invited her and made her feel weird the entire time, made her feel picked apart, talked about her behind her back after she left. And people feel this kind of stuff, So, yeah. And also it could be that somebody here, Knight of Wands. So this is either your man or her man. Like it's this Knight of Wands energy. Very attractive, like kind of in and out. I don't know. Maybe like with her man, like maybe, I don't know, for some of you before, like maybe things acted like they were going to kind of spark up into a sexual relationship between you and him, or maybe it did and you thought that it was going to lead somewhere else, or maybe there was just some flirting or something. And now all of a sudden he's taking his higher cup. That might be hard to hear, but she's his higher cup. And so he's maybe, if he's healing, he's turning away from this energy. And I think a lot of you might be like, well, he needs to turn away with it with me. But if you were, this is going to be a hard truth. And I think this is kind of a mirror that she's holding up, is that if you were in his life and there was this kind of energy, he doesn't feel that way towards you. He feels that way towards her, like that maybe he wants to get his act together. And so maybe he is kind of, closing off. Maybe he is like not around, especially if his friends, quote unquote, that really have an ulterior motive. If his friends are not treating his woman correctly, as a man, and you know this too, you know that it would be deeply unattractive if a man didn't put those women in their place, preferably in a respectable way that lets them know that he can also hear on a social level, and that this is not a way. It's the ugly stepsisters kind of getting at Cinderella, pulling her sash off. And I'm not saying that they're ugly or that they're stepsisters. I'm just saying like there's no chemistry here, like from his side at least, like on a emotional level, like for some type of commitment or something. And I think that is the hard truth. And I think that makes people feel rejected. And I think it's hard to be rejected. But just because you're not one person's cup of tea doesn't mean that you're nobody's cup of tea. It's just that it's not there. Like, and so if you just stop there and you take that reflection of yourself, it's going to make you feel less than, instead of just saying like, can I really be this man's friend? Actually, can I celebrate? Like he wants to be with her. So I think there also might be a hidden enemy kind of thing, even for him. So if a woman here is pretending to be his friend, but he's chosen that he thinks he might want to make a go of a relationship here, and they're undermining that by flirting, by trying to needle her and trying to start arguments basically from behind the scenes to make everybody think that was their two personalities that just didn't get along, and not somebody actually trying to cause a problem between the two of them. Where actually friends can be neutral, but also friends can be positive. Have you ever, I'm just thinking back to when I was a young adult, like how many times, I'm thinking of so many scenarios. Like one time, one of my friends, he was a guy and his girlfriend was extremely Christian and she didn't know how to trust anybody. And I saw myself in her a lot, and she never learned that she could trust me. And I always hoped that she did, because I was never the problem. And girl, if you had talked to me, I could tell you who was the problem, because it was never me. But I always saw myself like living in community and like having friends that I would have for my entire life, and all of us like raising families and stuff together. Like that was the kind of life that I saw for myself. And so they were always fighting, but I was always like kind of talking him down to bring him back. He also was like very emotionally volatile. He would like grab a bottle of like straight up liquor and run off into the woods, and you just find him like just chugging it. And so I was always kind of like bringing them back over, but it's like, see how friends don't have to just be a neutral thing. It can be, he almost like ended himself 2 or 3 times. Like we're talking to that level, right? So it can be a positive influence where it's like they're actually helping your relationship and helping like everybody see the side when they're invited and if it's needed, right? They're not inserting themselves in. So they can be a positive influence when they're healthy. They can also be a neutral influence. They don't have to be this sabotaging energy that is around. And that's what he needs to learn, I think, is that these women that he's sleeping with or flirting with, what he's doing is he is creating hidden enemies to himself, his future happiness, his future girlfriend, wife. He's creating a negative environment around himself for her to then have to step into and weather. And, new relationships are weird anyway. So it's really asking a lot. You're really asking for a very strong person. Strong, especially in being able to advocate for themselves and to be able to talk about these kind of dynamics in a way that ensures that they don't look like they're crazy, And I don't think that these, like, I'm saying women, but this could be men, whoever it is that he's into, right? That are kind of around and they're jealous. And maybe they're not jealous because they want to sleep with him, but they just want him to go like party or whatever. So they're undermining his future happiness. Those are hidden enemies. Even if they smile in your face and they love to go out on Friday and like, as long as they can be territorial over you, they're fine. That is a hidden enemy. And so that is the kind of person where, and for some of you, it might be his mother, because we do have this like womb energy, or it could be the mom that's like encouraging this, like kind of, maybe this is a group of friends that he's had since high school or whatever, it's that, and so somebody here is kind of at their wit's end, because I feel like somebody here is aggressive, but in a feminine way, in a social navigator kind of way, and they expect not to be called out on it. And they don't think that this man sees it, and they think that he either likes the attention, likes sleeping with them on the side, and they think that that means more to him than it actually does. And they also think that maybe this has not been an awakening experience for him, because for some, again, if he had this kind of group of friends or something before he met somebody that he really seriously wanted to commit to, I think that may have been an awakening experience where it's like, you are not healthy. You feel territorial over me in a way that is grossing me out, or in a way that is a problem. And if he doesn't have social skills, because I kind of get the sense that there's somebody here who kind of feels that they dominate him in that way. But the catch-22 here is if he doesn't have the social skills to be able to confront it head on, they're just going to be cut out of his life. He's just not going to be around those people. He's going to say, this is a whole ass mess and it's not worth salvaging, kind of a thing. And that even could be with his mom. So, okay, anybody else here that could like F around and find out? So again, it's if you are the woman that I'm describing, because some of you I think will see yourself in this person where you feel attacked, you're picking up on all the signs and signals, then it's this other lady has she had an awakening? No, she feels territorial and she thinks she's in the right. Yeah, somebody here, and they think they've got an upper hand. Mentally, they think they've got an upper hand here. I think on this masculine. Because they think that they've got something here that he just can't say no to. The possibility of sleeping with them or going out with them, or it's like, because it's off and on, in and out. And it feels like, just like a lot of energy or something here. And they also feel like they're maybe closer to him in proximity, or that they feel like they've got something here that they can use to kind of pry the two of you together or control the way that you're seen in a social group. And then therefore, they want bad things. Okay. And I just heard from the Kelly Clarkson song, I would never wish bad things, but I don't wish you well. Could you tell by the flame that burned your words? Give me that Sunday school answer, repent yourself away. So for some of you, I think this woman that I'm talking about, who is like not usually aggressive, and I think has like maybe been strong and kind and forgiving for like a very long period of time. It's just, I would never wish bad things, but I don't wish you well. I feel like for some of you, this is like maybe as bad as it's going to get with her, where it's like, I don't actively wish evil things on you, but I don't wish you well. Do I want things to work out for you? No, you've done horrible things to me. You tried to erode my confidence. You tried to get in the middle of my relationship. You made me feel like I couldn't be myself around you and your group of friends. And so I was silent and weird, but then you made me feel like that was my personality, or you told other people that was my personality, instead of learning anything about life and psychology and the way that people work and then applying that to the context of the situation before but it's because you had an agenda towards me. You had a motive towards me. You didn't want to like me. You didn't want me to feel comfortable. And you didn't want our relationship to bloom and blossom. Somebody's relationship, whether it even could be with like maybe your man, Maybe there's a reason that this person is interacting with him, but they're not allowed to, according to you. And I kind of am getting that this somebody here is like really not a problem. They're actually a very sweet person and they're attractive. And I think that's somebody's problem here with this person, is that they're sweet and attractive. For some of you, this is one of those crazy boy moms. And I don't mean a woman who has boy children. Okay. So be triggered, but I bust shots. Don't duck if it don't apply. Right. So you can be a mother who has boy children, or you could be this boy mom, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I've shared, video over on Patreon. And the reason I mentioned that is because somebody sent me a nasty message telling me that they had enough of this boy mom stuff and that they've hated me for a year and everything like that. So that was for you, ma'am, if you are still watching. But yeah, so the boy moms, it's where it's like weirdly incestuous, and they make like these jokes where like their little boy child will be like 3 in Pampers, and they're already having a problem with this make-believe woman. They don't even ever say man usually, because maybe he grows up to be gay. You don't know. But it's like they just have this like competitive mindset. It's honestly just like this internalized misogynistic view of the world, you know, where they already feel territorial and competitive over this like little girl who's probably 3 or maybe not even born yet herself. She's a child probably, you know. So it could be that. And so like mainly the mother's issue is that you're young and you're attractive and you're romantic towards their person, and they just want to establish dominance and like territorial control over you in the situation because of misogyny. This is like an internalized misogyny, where again, they view men in a certain light and male attention. Even when it comes from their son, they view male attention in a certain light, and it becomes a commodity that then like this swan that's kind of dirty and territorial, they want to like fight over. And they don't see that as the problem in the situation. They view you as the problem in the situation, because they get emotionally flustered and they feel like you're wresting power away from them or you're taking something away from them. And it looks like that from their diseased perspective. The perspective is what needs to change. But again, I'm just not getting a lot of consciousness like around that. They'd rather blame, defend, deflect, play power games, and try to come up smelling of roses so that nobody can really challenge them in any way. And they're just going to end up losing out, like if the sun is at all healthy. And they might be, because I feel like this masculine energy has maybe gone inwards in this hermit energy. There could have been a change in his behavior. And that's also, so if you are the person that is this, like this kind person, and you really didn't do anything, and you would know that you didn't do anything to deserve this, because I think that that's why you're holding back. Some of you know that you're prone to apologizing, like when you shouldn't apologize and you didn't do anything wrong. But I feel like this masculine energy maybe has pulled back in this hermit energy. So it could be that he's grown up, he's aged, but I think he's like wizened up and he has actually gone within. And so there is this like this territorial person who has no right to feel territorial. Or again, maybe they are territorial in an unhealthy way over their partner and they're running you off, like, and you're actually not a threat, but they're not curious. They don't want to get to know you, kind of thing. I feel like this masculine energy has some way has pulled back, but this person won't go inward. So this hermit energy from this masculine is very triggering. So I feel like he's maybe pulled back in order to think. And it could be because maybe if she's the one with a masculine partner, then she could have dripped poison in his ear. And then he's like, wow, everything that I just said, like that wasn't actually their personality. You were making this person feel uncomfortable because you feel territorial over me. I didn't realize that that's what was going on. And now that I see this person's personality, or I've somehow understood this pattern that goes on, that you're weirdly territorial around like other women or certain kinds of other women or men or whoever it is that he's dating. There's like a type of person that's seen as like romantic and attractive, like to this person. Now they've wizened up and they've seen it. And so I think that they're pulling back from the social space because that's where this person controls, is like from the social space. And they want a lot of attention, I think, for being with him, for being near him. Even if this person is being territorial over your man, and it's like, that's your partner. And I just heard you may even share his last name, you know, but this person wants to be seen with him. They want to be partnered with him in people's minds as a form of dominance and control, social dominance and control, in a feminine way, in that kind of hidden feminine way. And so I feel like this person, if you were to call them out, they would pearl clutch. That's not me. I'm genuine. I love him. I know what's best for him. No, this is control. It's dominance under a guise. Yeah, this is dominance under a guise. And that is obviously, it's like role reversed in that situation. And that might actually play a role here. I'm quoting a song. It's called Labor, Labour, by something like Paloma or something. Paris Paloma. It's like 2 P's. It's a song. But that's You Make Me Do Too Much Labor. It's like kind of a feminine not really an anthem, but it just describes the female experience of doing all of the labor, not like, but I feel like there's something with this person that's kind of switched where, and it might not even be relative to this masculine, because for some it's like their son, but like in their relationship with their partner, I think they feel, like they're not getting a lot of their needs met in that relationship. Like, I don't know, but I think that maybe their partner does a lot of the work. So they could be obsessed with somebody for, it's like a husband and a boyfriend. Okay. But I'm not saying that those are like the exact roles, but I feel like somebody here maybe has a husband that does all the work, you know? And they don't feel fulfilled in a romantic way. And so it's like their son becomes the boyfriend, like the attractive, fun one, you know, that they can like be with. And then, you know, he's your actual partner, but then he's only ever learned how to be the attractive, fun one because he was the other man in his parents' relationship. This is getting weirdly ancestral, but there could be some kind of like flipping where you make me do too much labor might be the way that this person's partner actually feel about them. You make me do too much labor. You don't really do anything for me. You don't contribute here. Like, and you taking care of our kids is you causing them irreparable damage. Like, you taking care of them. I mean, yeah, I'm guessing that they get bologna sandwiches and stuff, but like, this is going to really affect, I mean, this causes like impotence and stuff long term. It messes with their relationships. Obviously, like my dad used to tell me the person that you marry, that is a decision that is going to impact your life more than a lot of other decisions, and that you should really take your time. It will affect this person's ability to, this masculine's ability to get that's what this person affects, is their ability to get their proper person, which is then going to affect a lot of outcomes in their life. So this is dangerous, basically, to have this kind of person around. So that's why they can FA and FO. Maybe there is a sense of this person feeling burdened or taking on responsibility here, but I can't imagine this person taking responsibility without squawking about it the entire fucking time. Victim mode, victim mentality, and this person is not a victim. This person is a pain in the motherfucking ass. Yeah, they're lacking in some way, but I think this person would just say, you're lacking, this is why, because they're controlling. They just want to control things. They feel a lot of shame. I think this person may understand that they're out of line here. On some level, they do know it. I just feel like this is one of those situations where ego defense mechanisms are very, very active. So again, if this is you and you've managed to stick in here this long, you might want to look up those ego defense mechanisms, because when they're active, you could have a full PhD in psychology and you won't know when they're active in you, because that's the way they're designed to work on an evolutionary level, which is why we need each other as mirrors, you know? And that's why therapists also go to therapy. Even though they're trained in therapy, it's because that usually makes them a more sophisticated operator in terms of their own shadow. Like they can hide things easier. They can excuse things easier. So it's, you know, and they have to usually go to specialized therapists who work with other therapists, you know, or who are just really, really good at their job to be able to kind of see that themselves. So it's not a matter of like knowing this in a book smart kind of way, but why I'm telling you to go look at the ego defense mechanisms and go through it as a checklist is to really sit with each one and to really see like the perspectives that just seem so valid to you that you're justifying, you know, till the cows come home. To really see like, actually, is this my ego defense mechanism? Am I territorial where I have no reason to be territorial? This woman didn't stand a chance. I'm not observing her from a neutral point of view, and I am refusing to be curious about her and to put her in her proper context. Are you doing something with this man where you're like, yeah, but he's probably tired, or like, you know, maybe he did this or maybe he did that. But then with this woman, you don't sit there and think, well, maybe she's in pain. Maybe she's done everything for the kid. Is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Welcome to 2026, right? Although maybe not, because we tend to be regressing, but you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, this person, it's like spirit is calling this person to kind of learn. I feel like this woman, because I feel like it's a woman here who's been kind of like attacked, ganged up on, is like a bit of a wake-up call, is like a mirror here in this situation. It has to do with this King of Pentacles. So whoever this is doesn't see this King of Pentacles clearly either, because they're pedestaling him. They're putting him up on some type of pedestal. Even if this is their own son, they're like, I raised the most perfect human. There's nothing ever wrong with him. And so there must be something wrong with you, or you're not good enough for him, or this or that. It's like, if he has chosen somebody, whoever, for whatever reason, and that's who he wants to be with, then let that play out, unless it's dangerous, you know. But this is the kind of person you kind of can't say that stuff to, because if you tell this person that there's a category where it's like that might be kind of reasonable, then everything's going to go in that category. So this poor woman is going to blow her nose, you know, at the dinner table because she's sick, you know, or something. And this woman will be like, dangerous, danger, this is dangerous, I mean, and then they'll start using that language. So the virus will mutate in this person rather like this is the kind of person, because if they're in that ego defensive state, if you educate this person, you're educating the virus, and the virus will mutate. And it's going to be really hard for this person, because they're so entrenched, to actually use the knowledge that they're given for self-awareness, because their preoccupation is always focused outwards. It's never focused inwards. But I actually think something here is changing, because I think the masculine, whatever masculine that they're dealing with, has somehow in some way gone hermit mode. So it could be they went independent. They no longer speak with this person. Or if it's somebody on their side of things, they've kind of realized like, oh, you're territorial. And we had a problem with like our son and his new girlfriend, or, we had a problem with that because you're territorial and you're weird around women, or you're weird around like attractive women, or you're, in a way that I don't think is, because I think that, remember I told you, I think there's been a conversation here, like with this woman who I think has been maligned, attacked, where somebody was like trying to drip poison. I don't know if they were successful or not. They were trying to drip poison in people's ears about this feminine energy. They're trying to, exclude her socially while acting like that's what they weren't doing. They were just kind of going through the checklist, and they thought that they were paired up with a masculine energy for sure. That's way less socially savvy than they are. So he wouldn't know, and he wouldn't even think to ask. He would know like, well, have you invited her over? And she'd say, I don't know. I tried to talk to her. Meanwhile, she's doing all this weird socially maneuvery shit. So her talking to her is inflammatory. But so remember I said that there was like a conversation between this healthy feminine and her masculine that she's like with about, I don't really feel okay around these people. So let's just go in, let's stay for as long as we have to. And then like, let's get out. So she's explaining herself. I think that there's healthy communication here around this. Whereas I think that this lady, there's unhealthy communication, whoever's causing this issue and who is aggressive. And so it's either like if the man is on her side, then she's not talking about it directly. She's not talking about her feelings. I feel insecure when this person's around, and leaving it neutral like that. She's not doing that. She is blaming this on like this other lady. She's doing this or she's doing that to make me feel this way, because she's not doing anything. She exists in a beautiful fashion, and it's threatening to this other lady who is insecure. And we all get insecure, and you could forgive that in this lady if she was not harming people and if she was taking responsibility for her actions. But that's not where we're at. And this person may well be older than this person, or more established in some way, or have like some type of there's some type of sway that they have, but it seems to be a social sway. Even if this person has a position, or even if they don't have a position and this other person has a position of power, there's a social power here, a social sway that this aggressive person has. And it could even be like because this could be any kind of situation, and people could be in any kind of configuration and any type of role, right? Where these dynamics are kind of playing out. But somebody here, they feel that 5 of Swords energy. They feel that they have something here that is secretive, a hidden strength that they can kind of utilize. And I think it might be their social prowess. So even if they're new in a situation or something, they might feel that they have a social prowess, even if they're the one that's new in the situation. Because I'm reminded of Emma. For those of you that have seen the movie or read the book, I can't think of her name, but it's the woman who married the priest. And she's kind of an obnoxious character. Emma's a comedy, for those of you. It's like, an old-timey comedy. But she marries the priest and then, of course, moves to his town. But she just kind of comes in like she owns the place. Her family is very well off. And so she's just vulgar, upstart. Like, that's what Emma calls her. But, like, she's not calling people by their titles. It's very disrespectful. But she's kind of, she knows what she's this, like, social agent of chaos, So it's like, it could be really anything, but there is a certain hidden strength that this person feels that they have, that they feel like when people try to sort through what happened in the situation, and when people are especially judging this woman, weighing her out and judging her, they think this variable that is their strength won't be tallied in to why she behaved that way. Because this is kind of giving reactive abuse. She wants to treat her unfairly in a way that nobody can detect. It's like carbon monoxide, the silent poison, like that. She's trying to insert that socially in the air, to where this woman is just silent and weird. And then she wants to point at her and be like, isn't she strange? Isn't she weird? And now I'm getting like peck her to death, like this, the ugly duckling story. So, okay. Anyways, that's who wants to FAFO for pound number 1. It's dominance under a guise. Yeah, and the next part of that song, I'm just going to say, she says, if we had a daughter, I'd watch and could not save her. Yeah, this is a mother who I think would I saw one of those boy moms where she has her daughters and then she has this little boy and she's like, that last little boy just hits different. But she was talking about how she admits that she's this way, how she will just let him hit the girls because maybe he had a bad day. But it's like, meanwhile, these girls are getting like hit by their brother and maybe they're having a bad day, you know, perhaps that has ruined their day. Question mark. Yeah. The collective has done what they could healthy-wise to communicate in a healthy way, but what's happened now, it's beyond the collective capability to heal and assist. Yeah, and I think that's like a hard lesson where it's like, I think for a lot of people who are very Libran, you know, very pro-social, it's like, well, let's just talk about it. Let's just have like healthy communication. But sometimes the lesson is that this is not a good faith actor. And so you can have a conversation and well, all you're going to learn is that like people can really go through the motions with you to get what they want. You're going to learn what their priority is. And their priority is hiding behind the mask to gain some type of social capital. They view you as the enemy. And that's that. So if you want to take that to arena of like having a conversation, this is why they tell you to gray rock narcissists and get them out of your life. And if you've ever done that and then you've talked to a narcissist afterwards, have they changed? No, these people don't grow. They don't grow. So they're the same exact way. The virus may have mutated, but you'll notice it's the same underlying pattern. So, what's FAFO? Fuck around and find out. Who wants to fuck around and find out? Who wants to get in your face? Who wants to fight and then find out the way you really think about them or what they really messed with? Okay, so moving on here to pile number 2, the Starborn. As I read that really quickly and my mind saw the word stubborn. So maybe there's some type of stubborn. What did I just do with that? Oh, maybe there's some type of stubbornness here. What did I do with that? Okay. I've asked that question 2 times now. And now I'm like kind of struggling. What did I do with that? What did I do with that? So maybe that's a clue as to like who this person is that wants to like FAFO. Okay. Spirit, for pile number 2. This pile is going to be awesome. Okay. So for pile number 2, who wants to FAFO? Who wants to FAFO? Okay, this is a message for some. For some of you, this person's not even born yet. I don't know that they're going to be born to you or like in your family line or anything, but like for some. But if so, if they're in your family, I feel like there's something here to do with like your guides kind of putting this person in. They're meant to kind of needle you in a way. You know how Kim Kardashian says about Northwest that like she feels that Northwest was put in her life to kind of like test her or try her in certain ways. And it could be something here like that but she kind of said it with a smile on her face, you know, like you can tell that that's her daughter and she still loves her. So not a Kardashian fan. I'm capable of seeing a mother love her child and, you know, express that, you know. So, okay. Pile number 2. What is, yeah, I'm not a Kardashian fan. I don't like billionaires. It's wrong. I'm not advocating for anything. But again, like I can see a human moment. I can see a human being, like, you know, that kind of energy. Okay, so who wants to FAFO? My brother's wife is pregnant. I know that baby is going to be wild. Okay, okay, who is this person? I feel like there is some type of mysterious energy about this. Who is this person? Is it like Enigma? Okay, interesting. So the no exit card came, but like this, and it says, we keep replaying the same story over and over again, and it never ends well. When will we finally learn to break this cycle? I just want to see. Trapped in a situation with no exit or escape. Okay, so that's telling me that there is like an exit or an escape. Catherine, thank you so much for the super chat. So who else about this person? My speech is all of a sudden weird in this pile. Who what else about this person? Okay, hold on. This doesn't really feel like it's okay. So there could be some tension here, obviously, because I want to like FAFO. It could be that I just read something where like somebody basically felt that the relationship became like another task to manage, kind of a thing. Okay, who wants to FAFO, Spirit? I'm not getting like some clarity here. I wonder why that is. I bet that's a part of like this message. Do you already know that you have issues with this person? I think you already know that you've broken this person's heart, or you've broken a contract, or you've broken trust in this way. And I think that you kind of know for some of you. Or it's reversed, right? Like if that's you, or maybe this is, or it could be, okay. There's something about this pile that is confusing, but it's almost like intentionally that way to kind of confuse me, but not like to confuse me. It's like somebody here doesn't want to fight with you. They actually don't want the smoke, which kind of did come out in pile number 1. They don't want that because they know that it's going to end badly, or they know that they know that they're going to lose maybe. So for some of you, somebody here already knows that they deserve it, kind of a thing, from what they did, that there was like a betrayal here, or that they didn't fulfill like a contract. They didn't live up to their end of the bargain. And so it's either you are that person, or it's that person to you, somebody who already knows that they betrayed you, if that makes sense. And maybe had a child with somebody else, or who wants to FAFO? I kind of feel like this group doesn't have many enemies, to be honest. To be honest, I feel like you don't. I feel like a lot of you might resonate with being a star child, like being very different, like having maybe even a star family. Some of you might be very mission driven, like you feel like you're here for a reason because God knows you would never have chosen to be here. Like, you know, you didn't come here on vacay, you know, like, so you might feel very mission driven. Yeah, something here could have been an accident. There could have been some type of accidental pregnancy here. Maybe this is somebody like a baby mom or a baby dad that got you pregnant and then like, again, didn't fulfill their end of the contract, like just kind of left you with all the burden. In whatever way you resonate, because I'm not saying that they don't necessarily contribute at all, though maybe for some of you, this person just like up and left. But, you know, maybe for some of you, this person does pay like child support. Maybe it's not enough. Or, yeah, they pay child support, but it's like, where were they those nights where, you know, you had to stay up all night with like a colicky baby or something like that? Like, I don't know. But I feel like this person has like gotten some distance and thought about it, and they feel actually like really, really, they know that they did wrong. So whoever this is, it's like they know that they did wrong. I feel like why do they want to FAFO then? I think this person almost wants to initiate an argument because they feel like they deserve it, and like just to try to bring forth some kind of resolution. They want to make something fair or equal. So why does this person want to FAFO? Oh, okay. So like they want to fuck around and find out, right? So this person maybe wants to either come back in your space, like in your face, like present themselves so that they want to find out. They want to find out, like, I think this person sort of knows that they fucked up, but they want to find out. Maybe this happened a while ago for some. So they're just wanting to find out like what your temperature is towards them. They know you have every right to yell at them, and maybe you did yell at them, or you would have yelled at them in the past over whatever happened here. And it doesn't have to do with the child. Maybe it does. I don't know. But it's like they know that like if they didn't run away from the situation in whatever way that they did, and that could have been just like emotional distance as well, or they just cut off. For some of you, I'm hearing like they just got a divorce from you. Like they didn't talk it out or whatever. They just wanted to like win. Maybe it was they left you in a vulnerable position. They cheated. Like they didn't want to face the music or something. So this person just like left. So they want to fuck around and find out with you. They want it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just heard that song. It's like, it's a Nelly song. It's like, hold on. Oh wait, it just switched in my mind. Okay. Well, no. So the original song I was hearing is like, I can't wait to see you. Want to see if you still got that look in your eye. The one you had for me before we said our goodbyes. And it's a shame that we got to spend our time being mad about the same things. And that made me want to fight when they said that. It's a shame that we got to spend our time being mad about the same things. Because that to me sounds like they're blaming you. When this whole time, it's like this person has been kind of owning the fact that they know that they did wrong. And that's why it plays over and over in their head. Yeah, over and over again. That's what that song is. About the same things over and over again. Yeah. Oh, it's all in my head. They want to know if it's all in their head. Like, I think she's leaving. Maybe this person thought that you were going to leave. I feel like this person did something wrong. They know that they were in the wrong about something and they ran. In some way they ran, whether they actually physically ran their ass away from you or they just refused to have a conversation or they refused to have an emotional conversation, because the King of Swords keeps coming out. So it's like they maybe try to take some type of superior position. They could even, with the King of Swords, sometimes that can be like an educated person. So they could be like quoting their therapist, but like completely out of context. You know how like some people do when they think that a therapist is like a referee? Well, my therapist says that you're in the wrong. No, your therapist's job is to validate you. Like actually a part of the therapeutic process is to validate your feelings. Now, feelings are not facts, and it doesn't mean that you would win in a court of law, but to validate your feelings. I understand why you would feel that way, but maybe you're feeling that way, you know? So I feel like maybe this person, or again, they did something here to approach a situation here that they know they cause pain from like some type of air energy. So they found a way to distance themselves and to kind of, I just saw like somebody pull a cord and like a tube just filled with air, and it kind of created a moat around this person. Like I'm seeing this person sit inside an inner tube, but they're not in water at all. Like they're just like, they got their little inner tube around, you know? So, they did that. So I feel like the way that they were just keeping their distance, or they were very strategic about the way that the words they would say, they were very careful as to not give you anything to like latch onto or, but now for some reason, and it could be that maybe this person's in therapy because, again, I'm seeing the King of Swords. So maybe there's somebody here who has given them like a higher perspective. They still haven't dipped into their own emotions yet, which I think is what they're supposed to do. Like process the way that you actually feel. Because I think this person ran away. Even inside themselves, they ran away from like whatever happened here. But now they're thinking that maybe they shouldn't have run away and that they want you in their life. But for them to not, they don't understand what running away is. So maybe you're dealing with an avoidant here, but like they don't really understand what running away is fully, truly, and completely, because they ran away on the inside first. They ran away from their emotions. They ran away from the discomfort. They didn't want to look at the pain and the hurt and the heartbreak that they caused. So they rationalized it, or they, so this is like, what I mean by they rationalize it is they say, well, everybody does that. Oh, I'm just a man. That's what men do. No, they don't. I have a wonderful man who would never ever do anything like that, and probably would resent being lumped into a group of barely over animals and then saying like, oh, that's a man thing. If it's a man thing, it's because of the patriarchal culture, but the culture can be changed. And that's not the base foundation of what a man is. And that's why we have these conversations, is because it should not be. That narrative should be challenged forcefully and hard and intelligently and with tact, you know? But yeah, that needs to be kind of challenged. But there was some way that this person just cut off emotionally, separated themselves and their actions away from the pain and the hurt and the brokenness that was caused. And so now for some reason they're thinking that they want you back and that they want to figure out how you are thinking about them. And if they want to see if you still got that look in your eye. But I think this person also kind of knows that you don't, because they know that they did something to sour the situation and then ran away. I'm hearing another song. Oh, I'm Gonna Get You Back, I think by Taylor Swift, where she's like, it's like, I'm an Aston Martin that you drove straight into a ditch, then ran and hid. Like, that's like basically this. Yeah. And so there's been kind of a distance. I think this person maybe always thought that you would chase after them, but this feels like an entitled position. And I don't feel this person relates to this as being an entitled position, but it's like, I think they thought that because you're soft of heart and firm of breast, sorry, me and Alex have been saying that to each other. You know, because you are supple. I remember when I used to hear supple all the time. I just heard it. So for some of you, that's like that's a throwback. But like, because you are, I think this person thinks that, I don't like this. This person needs to change. They need to mature. But I feel like when I'm saying mature, this is like they need to overcome, I want to say they're like patriarchal conditioning. There's a way that they've accepted that the world is and that they are, and their function and their role and their position. And it affects you too, because they think that you should be the one to go to them, to chase after them, and to do the emotional labor and the emotional lifting. This person doesn't realize that. And if you were to bring up that you think that's labor and that also you didn't cause the problem, I think for you, who is like more emotionally intelligent, you're like, you caused the problem. And you also ran away. So you need to make it okay for us to have this conversation. You need to show that you're open, and then we can actually have this conversation. But I'm not going to start the conversation when you ran away the first time. So I don't even know if you're open to having the conversation, like with words, but then like, I don't know if your heart is open to even like, do you even care? You know, like, I don't even know that you care. So I'm not about to waste my time and my energy and my emotions and my breath, especially if you've had to process this yourself. But this person, I think, they genuinely think that it's your job to fix it because you're better at it or something. When I'm hearing Elizabeth Bennet in my mind now talking to Mr. Darcy, where he explains to her that he's not good at talking to people whom he's never met before. And she says, well, A, nobody can be introduced in a ballroom. And she also says, why don't you take your aunt's advice and practice? Sometimes people don't think that they should have to practice at like the social emotional things because they think that it just comes naturally to some people and that it doesn't come naturally to other people. When in reality, basically we grow up in culture that raises like especially men and women differently. But this doesn't really apply to all men and all women because there are a lot of men that like think about a lot of like there's a lot of men who are like socially intelligent, you know, and do kind of naturally get that. Maybe they had sisters and mothers and like, you know, I don't know, or healthy men that are in their life. But I think this person just sort of thinks that they're not good at it, so it's unfair and unjust for you to expect that of them. But I don't even know that you expect them to be perfect or good at it, but you expect them to make the effort. Even if they're bad at it, they need to like make the effort. And they're not doing that. So this person kind of wants to just kind of like ungracefully a bit, like throw themselves in. It's like kind of their only mechanism. They don't know how to start the conversation. So I think this person is maybe thinking about being brash and starting an argument with you, but it's because they don't know how to just like, hey. And it makes them maybe feel exposed or vulnerable. They don't want to be rejected, this person. So it's like, I think that's why they haven't even tried or something. Like they don't want to be rejected and they feel a bit resentful towards you because I'm like, why? When I say like FAFO, it makes me feel like they want to fight a little bit, but it's like, what does this person have to fight about? And it's like, they feel resentment towards you and they feel rejected because you didn't bridge the gap. They really felt like you should have bridged the gap here. And I can just tell that factually that is incorrect. But they still can't let go of it. And it's really because this person doesn't have a skill set that they wish they had. And I think it's kind of too much for this person to realize, like, I should have learned, I should have tried, I should have sought out, like, again, like a therapist who could guide them through an awkward social conversation behind the scenes and be there as like some type of support, not like as they're actually, well, maybe, I don't know. I think people probably do that actually in therapy. If I felt so anxious about it, I would ask if I could just sit in front of my therapist and like do it, not to necessarily have them proofread everything that I'm like doing. Well, maybe, I don't know. Like, you know, but it's like this, there are things that this person could have done. You know, there are resources in our world, you know, or even like a friend that they trust, that they, you know, whatever group they're putting you in, because they are putting you in a group that is better with social things. And that's like maybe a personality group, like, well, you just have that kind of personality, you know, or where they think, and this is incorrect, but this person hasn't learned that yet. They don't, and because they haven't realized what I'm about to tell you, they misunderstand your energy. And in particular, I'm hearing the word courageous, like that you're actually courageous. They don't give you the credit for that. They instead, they reduce you down. This is a person who reduces you down. They kind of have this fixed mindset thing where they think that talent is everything. You're born with certain skills and certain talents and nobody can ever be taught anything that kind of breaks the mold. And that sometimes even the things that don't come natural to us, you can get a bit addicted. Like you can be like, yeah, I did that hard thing. And then that can become your favorite thing. And then you become very skillful at that thing. You know, it's like this person hasn't had those kinds of experiences. They don't recognize that courage is the thing that they lack. Courage is the thing that was needed to kind of bridge the gap, and vulnerability, and that those two things kind of go together. So instead, this person, they want to fight you or like get into an argument with you, or they want you to start an argument with them. Because I think this person was scared of that to begin with, but I'm seeing this person just kind of stand like very stoically in front of you, just like, all right, if you're going to bite, kick, scream, spit, yell, do it. Like, you know, but I'm seeing them kind of not even saying anything. Like for some of you, I feel like this person feels like their mere presence, like just the sight on scene. Like maybe for some of you, like it's on site. This person feels like it might just be on site with you. Like if you saw this person, that they think that you would have a strong reaction, but at the same time, they know that you're sweet and that it might be, again, because I'm hearing that, I want to see if you still got that look in your eye, the one you had for me before we said our goodbyes. But I don't know that it was a goodbye. You know what I'm saying? I think it was more like, get the fuck out before I make you, or if this person ran away, something here like that. It wasn't a good ending here. So this person is like, either you're going to be that like forgiving self and I don't have to own up to my crap and I don't have to say sorry. I don't have to be courageous. And that would be that 6 of Swords energy, that karmic energy between the two of you, or maybe this is a codependent relationship and you always kind of, fill the gap for this person, almost like I'm like, what gap car insurance is. And for those of you that aren't American and your societies function maybe a little bit better, you probably don't know. And, that's probably a great thing. But like gap insurance for your vehicles, when people basically, because cars depreciate in value so quickly. And so if you get a nice car that you pay a certain amount for, right, it depreciates very quickly. And so if you were to total your car for some reason, or it was like a lemon or whatever, your insurance would only pay out so much, like to the actual value of the vehicle. And then you'd still have like, you might owe more on it. So I feel like this person kind of maybe expects you to be their gap insurance, where like they owe karmically more than something is worth, or like that their insurance would cover in this situation. And so maybe for some of you, this person has resentment because they feel like you should have been their gap insurance in some kind of other situation. Like you weren't there to then help this person navigate another situation, but it actually wasn't your job. And this person, yes, they have to learn skills, like social skills, to have this kind of conversation and to be able to do that with tact. But more than that, I feel like this person just needs courage to kind of come out of the egg and like jump out of the nest at some point, when their wings are ready, like when they feel that they're supposed to, like however that works for birds, like they're supposed to kind of grow and come out of their shell. Because I feel like this person feels like they're fragile, or they feel like they're delicate, and they're not. And I feel like their ego is fragile and their ego is delicate. But I think that's because they know that they did wrong in the situation, and they know that they deserve like a licking or something. And I feel like this person maybe makes other people pay. I don't know. Like, I don't know. They have a lot of love for you. They really do. But then they behaved so badly. So they know that they kind of they don't deserve your kindness. They don't deserve your fairness. They don't deserve for you to have a conversation with them. They know that. And so I think that's maybe also why they want to fight with you, to see like, this person thinks positive things about you. They know that you're a good person. They know that you're caring and fair, and they know that they were not that way back. They do. Okay, so this person could have left you without money in a certain instance. They really should have been there to support you at a very fragile time where you were maybe, I'm hearing, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. And for some of you, it's like this was like a little baby that you had, with this person, and then they didn't support you like at that sensitive time. Or it could be something about your own personality where you were kind of coming out maybe at a new phase in your career, or like there was something here. And for some of you, it might not have even been a money thing. It could have been that there's a lacking energy here where this person like just kind of sat. They just kind of sat, and like there you were, like you're pecking your way out of this. And like it's hard to kind of not see the fragility of this. So I feel like this person did see your fragility in some way, that you were vulnerable or something here, and that they could have spoken a word here to like maybe a group or to you that was full of love. And that would have gone a long way in terms of protection, in terms of help, in terms of like stress relief or something that would have really helped a lot. But they didn't do that. It's kind of what I'm getting. This person could have said something golden, something really, they could have alchemized something. They could have changed lead into gold. Like in this situation, or for you, they could have made it better. I feel like there's something about with their words too, where they could have addressed something, or they could have had a conversation, and instead this person like ran away and they didn't. So this person knows, like they know. I just heard backstabbed. Like they know that you got stabbed in the back and not the front. They know that they did something here behind your back, and they really didn't need to, because this person like has a lot of love for you. So, okay. Anything else here about who wants to FAFO? They want to transform themselves. I think you've actually really inspired this person. But also I think for some of you, you feel like this is a karmic relationship. Oh, remember, wait, did I already shuffle this? Yeah. Damn. Remember like one of the first cards was like, we keep going around. It was the no exit card. We keep going around and around in this. And so I feel like for a lot of you, there's like a karmic situation here. You're unsure what to do, because I feel like this is maybe a soulmate, and you guys have tried to transform this pattern. And so there is a lot of love here, and there's like a lot of history, and that could be in this lifetime. You could just feel it with this person, and there's a lot of love here, but it's abusive. There's something here in that Anurata energy, which is a nakshatra in the middle of Scorpio. That's that lighthouse energy, where I think for you, you get sucked into like abusive relationship dynamics. And that could be like just maybe overall people who don't treat you fairly, people who give way less than they try to take from you. They expect way more from you than they give. And again, this is even like at these kind of kneecap places in your life where you're kind of like, a joint. It's like where you're death rebirthing, you're moving into a new career, you're having a child, like these are the places where you need somebody who's going to be strong with you, or who's at least not going to try to cause problems. But this person, it's like they needed to say something or they needed to act. It doesn't feel like it was going to take much for this person to actually be able to support you, be there for you. So I think for a lot of you, you're like, I feel this way with this person, and I feel like that's our potential and it's their potential. But then this is only whatever manifests. And once you've done the work to kind of pull yourself out of an abusive relationship dynamic, a cycle where you always are the one with the short end of the stick, you always draw the short straw. Like, do you really want to get pulled back? And I think this person also knows that. I think they're really scared that you're done, like for good, because like you've gone around with this person, whether you realize it or not. Like, you've really gone around with this person. You've given them enough chances. You really have. And this person, I think, is scared. They're angry with themselves. Yeah, because they see that once you got rid of them, you bloomed. You blossomed. That this person was like an anchor around your neck. And they want to be able to offer you this higher cup. They do. But I don't think this person's the higher cup yet. They want a new beginning. It could be that this person like went with the Queen of Wands over you. They initiated a new beginning with that person. Maybe they had a kid together and that made you feel very vulnerable. And you were like the Queen of Pentacles. But I think for a lot of you, or maybe they meant to crack your facade, but because like you're just not the same person is what I'm getting. I feel like maybe you at the beginning, and this person needs to understand this, that this is the way that life kind of goes. Like at the beginning, you're shaky. You're a deer on wobbly legs. But as you grow, like you've really grown into this Queen of Pentacles where you feel confident, you feel sturdy, you feel secure. For some of you, I think that this is maybe what's drawing this person back, is like your way of doing things has really left you in like some type of sovereign territory. You are like feeling, confirmation. You're happy. And this person didn't deal with, and they say this, like I think there's been studies that show that men in particular don't tend to process their feelings right away. And again, this could be the way that they're raised and stuff, but women will process a breakup or like something right away. And you'll cry, you'll call your friends, you'll watch sad movies, you'll eat a tub of ice cream if that's what you need to do, but you will feel your feelings and then you'll move on. And when you move on, you really are free because you've processed it. And so in the long run, whatever relationships you're forging, you're going to have greater success. Well, this person, I think, a lot of men will try to win the breakup. They'll try to numb out like with other people. I feel like that's what this person did. And, that's not going to yield the best results in the long run. So then they process their feelings later. So it's like they're processing their feelings and you've already moved on. This is very much coming through like a romantic situation, but it doesn't also have to be. So I hope for those of you where this isn't a romantic situation, you can still hear enough of like how this like does play out in your particular situation, because it doesn't really have to be a romantic situation. This could be a friend or something here. This person plays the victim because they did go in for the devil's cup in some kind of way. They went in for a low vibrational energy that seemed like it was going to be like the solution or whatever. But again, it's like, and they feel victimized by that situation, whatever it was. They feel trapped. They feel stuck in some type of karmic contract, or and they feel stuck in their situation. They just daydream about you and like the past and how they didn't put the effort in when they should have, like in some type of routine energy. And instead they're like trapped here. But I think this person then coming towards you is also this devil energy. And that's the thing that they're kind of stuck on, is like they're now the devil energy in your life. They're the thing that binds you, that holds you back, because they haven't been able to look at their shadow, process why they did what they did. And I think accept that you're a very courageous person. It's not just that you're socially skillful or in whatever way they view you as being skillful, which is why they think that you should, or like your position. Because for some of you, this person's like, well, you're supposed to protect my macho man persona, which no. Be a macho man and have that be your persona, or this is karma for not being that. Like, so yeah, I'm just getting that. I think that they need to admit that you're courageous. They need to learn how to be courageous themselves, and they need to learn social skills. And that's how they're actually going to be strong. So anything else? And I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Yeah, like you are a very strong person, like internally very strong. But you also have the sweet, sensitive side. This person also needs to understand that strength and vulnerability sometimes are the same thing. When more men understand that, the rotten men will start getting punched in the mouth, and they'll have to kind of, and I'm not actually advocating for violence, especially between like grown men, like people who should be kind of grown. But what I mean is they'll start standing up instead of like platforming these people that say horrendous things about women and that they shouldn't have to be. They basically all these manosphere types, they just basically tell men over and over again that they don't have to be full people and that they should be praised and they should get the top spot for not having to be full people. And they don't have to learn how to socialize. They don't have to learn how to be a fair person. They don't have to learn how to be not abusive and make their relationships work. Like, so the more that men start to become more socially and emotionally intelligent, the more that together they are going to be the people who say no to those people. You're a broken person. You need to get help. Like, this isn't okay. Like, instead of just like going along with it to try to, for them all to collectively hide their weaknesses that they're ashamed of. And now my throat is kind of going. So it's hard to maybe like talk about these things, like talk about their weaknesses. Cause I think for a lot of this is a masculine energy, but I also do a lot of spell work before. I was just thinking about that too, because I do like an hour and a half maybe worth of spells, like preparing for this live stream. And then I talk for a long time here and I'm like, dang, I really do a lot of talking on live stream days. But anyways, okay. Yes. So let us put the choices back up and we'll bunny butt. Bunny butt, a bunny, bunny, bunny butt, bunny butt. It's that time of year. Hey, 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 hey. I'm sorry. Pretty privilege for men can stunt growth and emotional intelligence. Absolutely. Especially in a patriarchal society where a lot of them, they're given the benefit of the doubt anyway. It also reminds me, okay, I'm going to say something. No, I'm not. Never mind. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to choose to let it go. Or am I? Because we are talking to like a group of women, but I just want to say that there's a certain group that's in power in my country. Very patriarchal, abusive, fascistic, some would say. And there's women in that group. But as what happens when you battle ride for the patriarchy, they use women and then they let the women take the hits for them and then they get rid of them. And that's starting to happen. Just say it's something you might want to notice if you want to deride for the patriarchy. You're not one of them. Oh, bunny. Yeah, I just put them out there. So if you just accept it, if you just accept it, if you want it and your higher self wants it, then that's just the only stipulation that I have. I just don't like to force it on people, but I just kind of put it out there. So if you want to do a meditation to connect with it, then, and that's your way or your process, then go ahead. But otherwise you can maybe just talk to your higher self and say like, whichever one of those spells, if you want that, then get it. I survived it and I want to improve for my daughters. Yes. Okay. That's the mindset too. Thank you for having that healthy mindset. Thank you for loving your daughters as like full people. Oh, I just shared this thing on Patreon too. There's this woman and I can never remember her name, but she has made such an impact on my life. She deconstructs the patriarchy, but also like from a Christian lens. She actually went to seminary and she is so good. But she was talking about that, how like she talks about the feet binding that she uses this example. Okay, let me just like have the main camera here for a second. This might be relevant, but for some of you, but she talks about how in cultures that are like kind of more patriarchal, and she talks about the foot binding in like ancient Chinese culture, that it was the women who would actually break their daughters' feet and like bind their daughters' feet. And they would do that because in their culture, to not do that meant that their daughter would not get a mate. Because if she had a fully functioning foot, then like it really kind of gets insidious when you think about like, well, then she's like can move around. Like if you have a broken up foot that's this big, you can't really walk on it. You can't run away. So you basically just have to lay on the bed if you catch my drift. Like you can't get away from him. You have no autonomy, no agency, and you're basically just there whenever he would like to utilize you. So it was the women that were doing this, because to not do it would basically mean that her daughter is like left to fend for herself in like this country. So as women, like that's what breaking away from that means. It means we have to learn how to stop breaking our daughter's feet. And so she was saying like, that happened to my mom, and she like really opened up about her story, which was like very fascinating, about these like little things that people kind of say. The little things that maybe your mom or your grandma or other women kind of said to you, and and that we kind of like all do that. And then she said, finally, I'm the one who's going to like stand up and like kind of break this. But she also recognizes it's been like a process, this is like, it's big stuff. So, Vespertine Princess, thank you so much for the super chat. Vibes. Yeah. But she says we have to stop like breaking the feet and saying that that's like the good thing and that we're looking out for our daughters for doing that. Like we have to start fighting for them to just be considered full people, you know, and to not have to rely on those situations that would require them to be bedridden for their entire life. It infuriates me. Okay. If you knew how much I walk as a human being just to clear my mind and like get away from people, oh my gosh, like, okay. It says, let's celebrate their first super chat on a live stream. And I don't know how to celebrate you. Wait, celebrate. Oh, I thought there was like a button. Well, I did celebrate it. I hope you. Oh, okay. I thought there was a button I could push or something to like.
YouTube is just encouraging you to verbally.
Oh, okay. So does anybody else see that or is it just showing up on my side? Oh, okay. Sorry if that was weird, but I just wanted to make sure that I was doing the right thing. Okay, so do the words no doubt mean keep doubting, cruel, aligned, no way? We did not come to hurt, healing, truthfully, wholeheartedly, wholesome. Yay. Okay, so yeah, I see it. Okay, so moving on to pile number 3. What?
Nothing.
They can't see it?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. We're all just figuring out how this works together. Okay. Bunny butt. A bunny butt. Bunny butt. Flip it over. Okay. So pile number 3. I just heard, hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me one go home. Okay, so for pile number 3, what are we doing? Who wants to FAFO? I feel you even though we're apart. I never expected to fall in love with you so quickly. Who is this? Who, for pile number 3, wants to FAFO? Okay, fighting, which is the energy. That's the energy. Reconciliation. I'm going to get a different stack because I kind of feel like this is the same energy coming through from stack number 2. We'll use this side of it. Oh. That's too much. That's too much. Okay, so for pile number 3, Spirit, new energy for pile number 3, new energy for pile number 3. Who wants to FAFO with pile number 3? Who wants to FAFO with pile number 3? I just pulled my own hair. Who wants to FAFO? Sick and tired, and I feel empty without you. Over it, moving on, decision made, repetitive cycle, vulnerability. Why does this person want to FAFO? Oh, okay. So the way this is coming through is I feel like this person is somebody that is sick and tired. Okay, and like really look at her. She is sad. This is somebody who I think this was somebody who was like run ragged, but they are kind of like a safe person, or like you feel safe around this person, but maybe you moved away from them because you think that they're better off without you, or like, again, it's vice versa. This is a person who moved away from you and they might have said something like, well, you're just better off without me. You could do so much better than me. But somebody here wants to FAFO about that. Like, they want to have a fight about that because they feel like you don't get to make that decision, or somebody here shouldn't get to make that decision. Maybe they actually want to forgive something. Forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward. And then we have intimacy. So maybe forgiving of some type of intimacy here. Or they want some type of forgiveness, passion coming together, magnetic pull, missing you, like a love that lasts. So maybe this is a person who is sick and tired of something. Or that's you. You feel sick and tired. And this person it's one or the other, right? Like the energies here could be switched. So it's either the person who moved away and they were like, I think that you can do so much better than me. They want to like FAFO. They want to see, like, fuck around and find out. Oh, wait a second. Okay, hold on. This one, give me just a second here to kind of understand. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for some, this could be like people who are in a codependent relationship and it's not working. So you know how like sometimes, I think they say especially men do this, but women can do this too. So take this however it resonates, where somebody wants to break up with somebody, but they don't want to actually be the one to do it. So instead, they just do a bunch of like messed up things in order to get you to break up with them for whatever reason. And so somebody here might want to look, I just looked down and saw this. So they just cheat on you a lot and then they get found out and they're expecting you to kind of break up with them. But then maybe somebody here didn't. And they're like, no, like, let's work on this. Like, let's work towards forgiveness. Like, I want to forgive this and I want to be able to move on. And this person's kind of like shocked because they thought that was certainly going to work. And so I feel like maybe this relationship has been steadily going to the shitter. And it's still like hanging on. And this person is kind of like shocked. It's like, why not just break up? Because I feel like somebody here is like really actually like stubborn about, oh my gosh. Like, I feel like somebody could have found themselves in a relationship because they're just very passive and they just didn't ever want to break up the relationship or start a conversation here. This could be the same person from pile number 2 in a weird way, where it's the same, what it is, it feels to me like the same problem, different font kind of thing. Like it's the same problem, meaning like they lack courage to kind of confront something and they lack an ability to have like the more difficult conversations and to like advocate for themselves. So I think this person has like a habit of just trying to piss people off to get them to take the action, you know? And then they can feel like they're not the bad guy. And they get to say things like, I think that you're better off without me. And so they never actually like change or talk about changing. I just keep looking at this face. This card makes me laugh every single time I see like that guy's face. Like, I don't know. Busted, detective work, secret exposed, surprised and shocked. Yeah, somebody here they were expecting to get caught. Maybe somebody here was expecting to get caught. Or maybe this is what somebody's kind of thinking about. Heather says, spot on, lady. Thank you for flowing with us. You're welcome. Yeah, so I think that this person could maybe be thinking about messing up, like on purpose, to cause a fight. They're thinking about doing the thing that they feel like to any person would be like a no-go. They think it's going to start a fight basically, and they think that they're going to piss you off enough to like break up with them. Okay, so why is this person going to FAFO? Or again, it could be flip the energies. Like, so it could be a person who got this done on them, but didn't actually want to break up still. Like they still didn't want to break up, or like even if they did get mad and break up, or they didn't actually get mad and break up, but they're thinking about like getting angry. But I think for a lot of you, I'm focusing in on this person who is trying to cause a problem so somebody will break up with them. Why is this person doing this? Look, double life. Okay, so it's okay. So it says living a lie, secret affair, hidden truths, emotional betrayal. I feel like there's like some type of emotional betrayal where like they actually maybe want somebody else. Look, mistakes. I wish I could right my wrongs. So maybe they wish that they could right their wrongs in a different situation, but they feel stuck in a situation that they're in because it's like very comfortable. So I think part of them feels like they would be stupid to break up that situation because they, in some way, it's like familiar and it's comfortable and they know that their partner puts up with a lot and maybe like kind of would never leave them or something. But maybe this person's kind of telling themselves, okay, it's like this is weird to describe, but it's like they are navigating subconsciously. It's like they're not gonna break up on purpose, but they're just, I don't know, they feel this emotional betrayal kind of energy. And they want to maybe be able to pursue something else or like go back and fix something with somebody else that's like not the partner that they're with. But again, they feel trapped or they feel stuck in a situation of like comfort and routine. And I don't think they want the blame for ending that situation, because it does feel stable, or maybe these people have responsibilities together, like children or something. And I think there may be something that this person, they don't think about it too directly or too much, of like, well, I wouldn't want to pay child support, or I wouldn't want to have to go out on my own or something like that. So instead, they just do something to their partner that they kind of feel like would cause anybody to break up with them or something like that. Yeah, I think this person's kind of stuck on somebody else. I just saw I look for you everywhere. So I think this person's kind of stuck on somebody else from their past. Why is this person wanting to FAFO? Yeah, okay, so Jules just said, big difference between manipulating people and being accidentally hurt to a numbing point and not communicating due to overwhelming overload and insidious labyrinth of spider webbing sticky traps. Absolutely, because I do feel there is like a hiding here, but it does feel very numb, and it does feel very subconscious, and it just kind of feels like they want somebody else to kind of take the wheel and like, you know, make the decision. They don't want to say anything. And yeah, maybe this person is in a place where they don't know what they want. And so they're just kind of going with the flow. I don't know. They don't know what they want though, because I think this person is maybe stuck on something or someone from their past, and they want, I think that they can't, I don't know. It's like they want maybe, what is going on with that? Unknown caller. Fake texts, playing on the phone, magnetic attraction. I think maybe they were thinking about calling somebody, just like up and calling somebody here. They're indecisive. Yeah, there's this person's like feeling indecisive about which way do they go. And this double life energy, I'm kind of getting like, it's like there's two different lives like that are on offer here. It's like 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in the other world. And they're like, which way do I go, kind of a thing. But they don't want to actually be the person to make the decision, because I think they might not know if they're going to be well received in one situation, because of maybe they got caught out for being in two situations. But so they don't know how they're going to be received in one situation. But in another situation, I think they kind of know that their partner puts up with them, or maybe it's not even that. It's like they know that this is like a stable situation. So they don't know. They just need a lot of space. Maybe they're taking a lot of space here from their partner. This also could be like, maybe it's not another person. Maybe this is somebody who's messed up big with like finances, or somebody who's got like a secret where they're like, okay, I gambled away like, you know, $60,000 and I don't want to tell my wife, you know, so maybe I'll just cheat on her and she'll break up with me because I feel so guilty about that. And then maybe I won't have to tell her because that'll just be my problem or something like that. Like, oh gosh, it could be something here like that. I sabotage this connection and I regret it. There is sabotage here, self-sabotage. So it could be that they sabotaged. Okay. So it could be, okay. So it could be that they sabotage some kind of connection that they want to go back to, but this is a very passive person in some kind of way. So, but they haven't been able to go back to that. Their life is kind of just, they're going on the flow with their life. And I don't think they maybe necessarily meant to find themselves in a commitment, but the person that they're with, they're just kind of letting other people take the wheel. And so the other person that they're with, they've just been with them for long enough that like, this is a commitment now. It's like common law, but not necessarily a marriage. So it's like, well, we're technically together. So now I found myself in a relationship because this has been going on for a long time, because I've been passively going down this road. Obviously I haven't taken any steps to like get back to a different relationship. So it could be something like that, but it also could be that this person was they did something to make their partner break up with them. Right. And it was like, just look at their relationship. Right. And it could be because this person was thinking that they wanted to hoe around on the side. And also they wanted to be in this relationship. But again, it's like this person didn't want to choose. So instead they wanted to feel like the choice was out of their hands. And that way they could really do some type of low vibrational thing that they wanted to do, instead of actually get their shit together and meet the moment to go after the thing that they wanted in the long term. So they could, the person who wants to F around and find out could actually be a person who did this in your relationship and regrets it. And like actually wishes that they could come back and fix things, because they thought that they wanted you to break up with them because they knew that this was like a healthy situation, a good situation. They kind of did feel that you were too good for them. they knew that they were engaged in some type of low vibrational like activities, and they kind of didn't want to stop doing that because I think they kind of felt like to invest in your situation long term, they didn't know if they could be that person like into the long term. They thought that they were going to fail anyway. So they just sabotaged themselves before it happened. And for some of you, maybe there's an overlap in these two situations, but only take what resonates. So it could be that, they've gotten themselves into another situation with somebody that they feel like they can meet their expectations, or like that person's the one that's trying to like stick the relationship together or something. So maybe they did that in your relationship because they thought that you were too good for them. And I don't know, they just never kind of made it right. Or again, it could be some type of situation where they sabotage themselves, maybe again with like gambling or with some type of an addictive energy or something here like that. So there's a hiding kind of quality here. There's a passivity. And there's like a fear of choosing, and it's not just choosing what route to go down, but like committing to who they want to be because they're scared that they're going to fail. And they're scared that if they try to change or if they try to grow up or like mature in some way, they're scared that they're going to fail and that they can no longer tell themselves the story of like, well, I just didn't want that. That's why I didn't go after that. That's why my life didn't turn out that way, is because I just didn't want it. No, if they want it and they fully decide to go after it and they commit that, and then they relapse in some type of way, or they still get pulled back to like, then they're scared of kind of revealing their own flaw to themselves or their own kind of weakness. And so this person's thinking about wanting to fuck around and find out. Again, it's this like sabotaging kind of fuck around and find out. Third party. Yeah. I think it's like with a third party, or they want to have a fight about a third party. This also could be that maybe this person accuses you of cheating when there you are like at your cubicle all day and I don't know, like your partner just latches on to the guy in the cubicle next to you and you don't like him. You haven't done anything. You guys split a Lunchable one day when your boss was being a tyrant and you guys had 15 minutes, but like and they just keep poking you about a third party. That's not a third party, but there's some real sabotaging kind of, okay. Tell me more about this, like F around and find out, energy. I think this person actually does need some type of help. Like they need, to have their cup filled up in some type of way. It doesn't feel like in a relationship. It feels like this person would need some type of like, I don't know if this person came from like poverty or something, but I feel like even if you just told this person about like, that they qualify for SNAP benefits or something, or like some type of community aspect or like some kind of program like that, that's very concrete, like you can go to the food pantry or something like that, that would do enough to help this person. Or even just like, again, some type of maybe it is therapy, or because this person, it feels like almost where they come from or a mindset that they come from. It is this like lack mentality, lack mindset. It's very much like you were born a street rat, you'll die a street rat, and only your fleas will mourn you, kind of a thing, And this person doesn't really realize that they have that way. They want to believe that they can change, and they feel like they think that people can change, but they're scared at the same time to apply themselves because they think that they're going to fail. And so they sabotage something here, basically. Liquid courage. Yeah, maybe this person like got drunk, or they did something here, or they had some type of odd behavior under the influence of alcohol or another substance. They feel guilty about something that was done under the influence. Yeah, because they were trying to move on. And they feel like they should have been repairing their heart. I sabotaged this connection and I regret it. Yeah, I feel like this person sabotaged this connection. Maybe, yeah, it was like odd. For some of you, it like torments this person. If like you were saying to yourself for like weeks or months or something, like you're acting very odd. It could be for some of you that this person pedestalized somebody from their past that was like not a good person. That was like a narcissist, like just dumped them. Like I kind of meant just like dropped them. Like obviously dumped means like they broke up with them, right? But like they just like dropped them, like in some type of like a way that was like, you're not important to me, like, or they cheated on them or something. And or they like went traveling all across the world or something, and left this person to go do it. And this person was like, oh, I can come with you. And they were like, no, or something like that. Like they maybe pedestalized somebody from their past. And that's why they sabotage things with you, is because they didn't they were stuck in like, should I move on or should I hold out for this kind of a thing? And they regret that. Like that could also be another way that this person's regretting it. Because for some, I feel like there was maybe like a couple of weeks or like a month or something, like a couple of months or a while where you were noticing that this person had some type of odd behavior and you couldn't quite put your finger on why or like what it was, you know? But it was maybe this. Yeah, broken. I feel shattered about this situation. Yeah. So for some, I feel like this person really messed up with somebody that they should have tried to have a go with. For others, I feel like they did try to have a go with somebody here and they were together, like actually as a couple maybe for a while, but this person dropped them for some type of better opportunity. That was either like a person that they thought could do more for them or it feels like it was an opportunity. That word's like really sticking out. They dropped them for an opportunity. And they kind of knew that they had this person wrapped around their finger, I think, and that they could maybe come back. Or that's what they assumed, this person that left them. But this person's maybe still stuck on that situation and then they sabotaged an actual healthy situation. Yeah, they stay awake thinking about like this relationship, wanting a relationship. So what is this like FAFO energy though? There's a lot of different scenarios for this one. I know I was a distraction from your pain. Okay, so for some of you, there was like a third party involvement. Either this person went back to this ex that just dropped them for like some type of opportunity and it ruined things with you. And, they, I think, want to fight that person and they want to say that you ruined my life or like this or that. I mean, this person has to own their L and they have to kind of process this, but I think they want to like fight that person and say that they should never have like that they lost you basically, I think, because they were holding on to this they're mad. They're like pissed off at this like other person. I think this person needs self-love. I really do. I think that they do need some self-love. Regardless of like, I think that you were treated badly in this situation. I don't think this person loves themselves. I don't think that they like themselves or they think that they're lacking in some way. Like this is like some type of deep-rooted self-esteem issue. Look, storm warning, upheaval, obstacle, wrecking ball, and drama. Yeah, so there could have been some type of big drama here. Maybe this person felt like they were around like a negative crowd that was encouraging something. There's a big mistake. Okay, I feel like there's more that wants to come out here. And this entire reading has felt kind of a bit like, you know, waiting for this person to sort of warm up and coax it out. But okay, anything else, Spirit? Maybe this person asked to take a break and you didn't know why. And then you found out that they went back to like their ex or something. Yeah, because for some of you, I feel like there's a karmic ex. They keep repeating the same patterns over and over again. Like and this ex is like a narcissist or like, you know, full of themselves. They don't love this person. There's no like kind of warmth. They were kind of using this person. But I think that the way that they presented themselves, it might have been girlish, you know, but whatever the way that they presented themselves as being kind of like, I don't know, I just don't know. No, that was so that they could leave the door open. Because if they just said like, I'm playing you, like I'm coming across a certain way so that you view me a certain way, so that you don't hold me accountable for my actions and so that you don't see like how cunning or calculated or what I really want out of the situation. This is a way for me to milk you, get what I want out of the situation, and then be able to kind of drop you and still have you kind of stuck on me. So if I want to come back, I can. Because I just feel like, yeah, this person could have presented themselves entirely different than they actually are because they wanted to take some kind of other opportunity, but they didn't want to be seen as a person who was cold like that or ruthless or who would just, but they are. That's what they are. So, but this person was kind of stuck on that person because they fell for the lie or the trap. But for others, I feel like there was actually a person from their past that was a sweet person, a loving person, that this person sabotaged things because they sort of knew that they needed to change. They knew that this person deserved more. And it was something to do with that. I used to limit myself to safe zones, but now I realize I must face dangers to survive this. Yeah. So I don't know. So I feel like that FAFO energy, it's like this person operates maybe in extremes or something. They like yeet. This person like yeets out the back door. They yeet out in and out of situations, like because the pressure kind of builds up. So yeah, I feel like somebody here thought that somebody was like their twin flame, but it either wasn't like twin flame, like whether you believe in twin flame or not, like they thought that this person was like their person. And it's either they thought that about somebody who was really actually full of themselves, but just because of the way that they look. And so they would have to fit the beauty standard of whatever culture they're born into and whatever time and place, you know, to where this person, regardless of whatever they actually are, because I'm kind of getting this person might have been older than them. They might have been actually very savvy in their career. They could have been successful in a lot of ways. Things that would tip you off to that this is a self-determined person. But for some reason, your person still maintains an image of this person as being like a fawn or like, you know, somebody who, but it's just simply because if you were to take that soul out of that flesh suit and put it in a different one, your person would see them more clearly. I think they were just like enamored with that kind of thing. But then there's another situation. Yeah, I feel like I kind of keep just repeating this. And so there's some type of repeating cycle here, or there's like a repeating narrative. The communication never upgrades. Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like me trying to describe the little things that kind of trickle in, I would have to like keep repeating this in order to kind of build back up to it. But I just feel like this person's really stuck on somebody. And that's either stuck on you because they ruined things between the two of you. They were trying to get you to break up with them. Yeah, I feel like it's somebody with a self-esteem issue. Master, you've learned a spiritual lesson. So there's definitely been some type of spiritual lesson here. I know I was a distraction from your pain. So I feel like something here has reached a zenith. Like either your person has realized that about whoever they were stuck on in the past. They realized that they were being toyed with by this person who actually felt that they could convince this person that they were like a romantic or sweet or something when they really weren't. And it allowed them the dominant position while seeming like they were in like a fawn kind of position. And so it was just fun. It was easy and it was fun to kind of muck your person around. They've learned that about this person. They've learned that beauty is more than skin deep. They've learned something like just because somebody is a woman doesn't mean that they're, oh, I just heard, don't believe because I'm a woman that I'll fall in love. Don't expect I'm young and need to be took care of. Don't want to hear you got what I need because how would you know before we speak? Yeah, you better. Like this person is realizing they have to see the person that is really there. They can't take people at face value. They can't listen to just what people say because sometimes people say things in order to implant a certain idea in your mind so that they can get away with their bullshit and hide who they really are, which is maybe a much more selfish, cunning creature, you know? So it's either they learned that about this person from their past, or maybe they got involved with somebody like that, or there's somebody, I don't know. I keep repeating myself, and so I'm just going to leave that there because I feel like there's something here with something like very repetitive, even maybe in this person's mindset. They really want to make things right. They are really stuck on somebody. They think about that person all the time, and it's this kind of sabotaging energy. Either they think about, oh man, I really fucked that up. I sabotaged that with this person because all these things I've already said, right? I don't think highly of myself. I knew that I was going to have to change. I knew that I was going to have to get my shit together to be with that person. And ultimately, I didn't think that I could do it. And it was going to break my heart more to try and realize that I'm flawed and that I wasn't the person that I thought I was. So I just sabotaged it with a third party, you know, or I like either on their side, they jumped in with a third party, or they picked a fight about you having a third party that you really didn't have or something here. And yeah, I'm just going to leave that there because I keep just repeating it. I don't know. Okay. That was pile number 3. So that got me down. I feel like that person's like really in a down kind of energy. Very just sad. But it's like it's necessary and they are learning a spiritual lesson. So, okay. So moving on. How many times can I say so? Doe. A deer, a female deer, Ray. I don't know why I started saying that because, oh no, so isn't that. So, a needle pulling thread. Okay. He shows no interest. He's just never been told no. Love and prayers, may healing be upon us. Yes. Okay. I'm just taking one single moment in time before I move on to the general messages. And the general messages don't have to have anything to do with the question. Although a lot of times pile number 3 kind of lingers on, but this pile number 3 doesn't seem a lingering kind of energy. I guess we'll see. Okay. So, all right. So Spirit, for general messages, For general messages, what do you want to say? What would you like to bring up? For general messages, what would you like to bring up? Oh, wow. Okay, so for some of you, I do feel like you're being encouraged to meditate because I feel like Spirit is trying to kind of reach out and like clear the air or something, or you have been meditating, or I feel like something new is coming in. For those of you who are in this like hermit energy, so maybe you've been spending a lot of time on your own, or you've been getting balanced, or you've been like really doing a lot of inner work, or you have been meditating, there is something new that is coming in. You have been elevating and rising above some type of past energy where there's this heartbreak energy, there's this like strong defensiveness energy, something here about the past. And there has been a lot of change here. Like you're not the same person. Or if you're somebody who's dealing with this kind of person, they're not the same person. They're not defensive. They're not heartbroken anymore. Like regardless of what happened here, obviously like it's sad and it should never have happened. But like this, somebody here has like really been in this like hermit energy in the Ace of Wands. They've embraced their independence. They've gone inwards. They've cleared certain things out. So what do you want to say about this Ace of Wands energy? I'm trying so hard, Jess. Yes. Why do you shake a lot when holding up the cards? I don't know. Do I? I mean, I don't hold the cards up very long. I'm also reaching far. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Sometimes when people ask me like direct questions like that about myself, I feel so put upon. I know that probably didn't come from a bad place. And everybody comes from like a different culture that, I don't know. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Okay. So what do you want to say about this Ace of Wands energy? Queen of Cups. Okay, I feel like there might be like a masculine energy who is maybe curious as to like why he can't get the attention of this Queen of Wands. Okay, so it could be that somebody is actually like trying to get your attention. I don't know if this is a new person or a past person. And I think it's because somebody here is in a hermit mode. Like they're really doing a lot of inner work. So if this is you and you're doing a lot of inner work, it could be that there is a masculine energy that is trying to get your attention. Like I think feels very like, notice all of the like little eggplants here and stuff. So like they feel sexual towards you. They're unsure about like what it is that they want to do. They know that you're a Queen of Cups. So they know that you're like emotionally available kind of person. And they're confused. They're wondering like what their options are. They're wondering if there's like somebody else for you. And they're like maybe holding back, maybe on some type of new beginning. Maybe they feel rejected or they're not good enough. And Spirit, this might be like, so there could be somebody around that Spirit is like actually wanting there to be a new beginning, like some type of new beginning in love. And Judgment. What's going on with this masculine energy? Okay, so for some of you, it's somebody from your past that is definitely trying to come back in, but they don't recognize that you're not the same person and that you don't really even want this probably anymore because you've kind of seen through it. You've healed whatever it was that they were like attaching to in yourself, but maybe this is just a heads up. Why is this coming through, Spirit? Okay, so Spirit has been working with you. So you've been elevating, whoever this is that I'm speaking to. And I think that for a lot of you, I'm speaking to you directly. You are a person who's been elevating through, like, again, this hermit energy, really actually doing the work, looking inside, and with that Mercury energy, like in a routine way, you are learning. Mercury is the bridge between like the earthly realm and like the divine realm. And so spirit is like kind of getting this snake away from you. So it could be that this is like actually a snake, kind of masculine energy, and they're just wondering why they can't kind of maneuver their way back in. And maybe this isn't exactly the worst kind of person, but with the snake energy here, it's like there is some type of maneuvering that is happening. And it might even be below their conscious awareness too. And I don't mean to be giving people the benefit of the doubt who might knowingly be kind of trying to come back around, but this person's also like showing up as an emperor. So maybe this is somebody that you were in a relationship with, or maybe this person was in a relationship with somebody else, or they were wanting to kind of start something over, but they're feeling like some type of blockage here. And that is you. I feel like you need to kind of be emerging out of your shell, but spirit's involved in this situation, and spirit's about to fling a kind of snake. But now if this is a new person, I feel like it was vital or important for you or for somebody. Maybe for some of you, it's this masculine energy that's in this hermit mode, but it was vital and important for somebody here to go inside of themselves and remove this snake energy. It feels like the snake from the Garden of Eden, which now that I'm like really diving into Gnosticism, the snake from the Garden of Eden, from that tradition, it's like Sophia. It's the wisdom energy. It's the divine feminine energy that wakes up the Kundalini at the base of the spine. But, those energies that would like to keep us ignorant, and maybe stuck kind of running the rat race, and not actually gaining knowledge and in a kind of gnosis, like alchemical sort of way, doesn't want us to have. So that energy gets kind of demonized. But what I'm getting is that there is some type of sabotaging energy. So it's like vital or important for somebody here, the feminine or the masculine energy, to like have gone through this hermit mode where they're kind of going through this. That is the divine interacting. That is the divine also giving this like fresh new beginning. And whether you know it or not, this kind of snake energy was like pulled out from you. So it's not going to sabotage a new relationship. And I think for a lot of you, there's maybe a new relationship here that's like either just come in, or there's somebody watching you. Like, does that person want to be bothered kind of energy? Like, do they want a relationship? I kind of feel like they do, but like, maybe they don't, sort of a thing. It feels like there is two energies. It feels like there is like, it feels like maybe there is something. What? I don't understand. What is this, spirit? Yes. Okay. Two major arcana cards, Justice and Temperance. Is this what you're talking about? Like while I shake the cards, is that what you mean? Like intentionally? I think I do it for emphasis. If it's this thing, like I don't know. It's a period at the end of the sentence, I think. Okay, so Justice and Temperance, two major arcana cards, but notice how she's like exiting the waterfall. So it's like exiting the emotional, some type of old karmic cycle, and actually like focused on some type of like higher ideal. And then with the Justice energy, it's balancing something out. There's definitely this like devil energy, but what is spirit going to do? Okay, so that took a lot of cards. Spirit was like kind of showing me step by step, and it was kind of a long process. But essentially, through this process of, I think, you going internal, where you're focused primarily like on yourself and your own emotions, not that you're not engaging with the external world at all. It's just you're using whatever feedback you're getting, and you're really exploring like your own inner space. Like in regards of that, there is this kind of devilly energy that's around you. It feels very Seven of Swords, like it's kind of sneaking around. It's very sabotaging, and it could be an energy that can kind of rear its head in people, like, what Carl Jung would call our collective unconscious, that can kind of find expression, like through people. So, that energy is going to think that it has like a victory or something, but it's actually going to kind of question something. I don't really know. All of a sudden, everything is so loud where I am too. There's like some road work or something going on. All right. Okay, so let's just see. I don't have any idea why Spirit is bringing this forward. I just think that Spirit is calling out that somebody here, and I think it's you, has really been doing their work. They've really been elevating. They have been in hermit mode, and there is some type of fresh new beginning that is coming in. And that fresh new beginning couldn't come in before because there was always the threat of that kind of snake energy kind of rearing its head and like biting at the ankles and kind of dragging somebody back down. And that snake, I mean, yeah, it can be a person, but it's like more, I'm kind of getting this like collective unconscious. The pain body, it would find expression to somehow come creep back in and kind of tear things down. Now, it could also be a masculine energy from your past. It's like, well, should I approach or should I I don't know, come back around or something? But you've changed and they haven't. And so Spirit, if that person is asking, well, why does that person seem not interested in me? Or why can't I get their attention? It's like that person is changing, which is vital before this relationship can take off because this pain body or collective unconscious energy kind of thing. I feel like there has been a period of judgment in this situation on a routine. Okay. This is the point of this. Okay. Because I didn't really understand what the point of this is. And I think it's because this judgment energy, I always expect to go with something that is destructive. I think that there's actually been a period of judgment on this situation. But somebody here has handled this period of judgment very consciously. And I think that that's you. So judgment is Pluto energy and it's kind of unearthing. So somebody in a very routine way, in a very disciplined way. And with Virgo energy here, it's maybe there has been some type of help or assistance from a counselor or they've been journaling every single day. It's very routine and methodical. Somebody here is actually through a routined, skillful way, through some type of, and Mercury is that divine bridge. And through some type of sun energy, they've kind of shown the light here on whatever this Pluto energy is. They've been working with the energies of judgment. So I feel like it's not actually for them building up into this big tower energy where it's it has to be kind of dealt with. It's because somebody here has been working with that period of judgment and it feels like it's played out over time. And so something here I think is about getting ready to switch. The Spirit has been moving through this energy and it's getting ready. Something here is about ready to kind of switch. And somebody here is going to have some kind of new beginning. So if that's you and you've been, this is what I feel like it is. I feel like you've been making a transition from the Emperor in the past to the Emperor in the future. Now, if you're a female, I feel or if just a feminine energy, you have been, there's some type of masculine energy that maybe you've kind of always gone in for in the past, but you've become more and more conscious. So that's actually changed the kind of person that you're attracted to. So I think that you're moving towards a different person or a different kind of person in the future. If you're masculine energy, I feel like the kind of person that you were in the past is changing. You're becoming this different emperor figure here in the future. It may also have to do with a boss is what I'm getting. There was a type of boss or authoritative figure, but because you've been doing that inner work, the type of person you're going to be around, the kind of structure, the kind of men, the kind of bosses or something, that is all shifting and changing. And it's bringing in this Ace of Wands energy, this fresh new start, fresh new beginning. And it feels like it's an end of a karmic cycle. And it feels like this is a long-term karmic cycle, or it had the potential to be. If you were listening and if you were actually meditating and you weren't arguing with Spirit, saying that you know more than Spirit, Spirit's I'm telling you there's something down there that you can't see. There's a reason we call it subconscious, baby. And it's because it's not conscious. You can't see this. So if you were going with Spirit, then this is going to pay off. But it feels like you went through a long period of time where you felt alone, you felt independent, you were not feeding your old habits. You were kind of going inside. You were asking yourself those hard questions well, why do I do this? Or why am I drawn to this type of person? Or what did that really mean? Or so you were doing all those things, not in a way that made you paranoid, or maybe you had moments where you felt like that, but this was really in a way of you actually genuinely processing this. And it has actually moved the dial for you. And you are about to, I don't know, I'm picturing somebody get into something, the door closes, it spins them around. And then when they open the door, they're in a different place. You're in an entirely different place. And so I feel like some of you are coming out of this hermit mode, or that's what Spirit's saying is about to happen. And Spirit, wants you to get your sea legs under you, doesn't want you to vomit immediately, so Spirit might just be letting you know that this is coming, that you're going to start emerging out of hermit mode, or you've been in hermit mode, you're about to open the door to something new. And again, this could be there's some type of new chapter. So new life, new apartment, new job, new boss, new whatever. This is different fundamentally than what you've done in the past because you played nice with Spirit, because you didn't run away, because you actually did the inner work. You weren't blaming life and everything, whatever you felt triggered by, you went inside and you were like, why do I feel triggered by this? You started to process it. You started to understand it. So it doesn't have the same power. It's not Pluto energy anymore. It's not, you've transformed it from being Pluto energy. So it's not lurking beneath the surface. It's not telling you, oh, when it's really Pluto, it's not. Pluto kind of reminds me of like the wolf in Little Red Riding Hood that pretends to be the granny. It's like, oh, I'm just your sweet little granny. I'm your moon energy. I'm your Venus energy. And so it can justify a pattern. No, it's Pluto energy. It's hidden, it's strategic, it's selfish, it's, it's trying to get power in the world. You have seen this energy and you're like, you are not my little granny. You are Pluto. And I see you and you're scared and like, you're scared of this or that. You've transmuted this energy. So Spirit's telling you, you're getting ready to open a new door, whether you know it or not. And some of you might know it. Some of you already sense this coming. And you don't need to be scared because whatever you open the door to, because it seems like, okay, this is going to be a relationship. Well, you've been in relationships before. Well, this relationship is going to be different fundamentally than the other kind of relationships because the kind of partner that this person is going to be different fundamentally. And if this is a partner kind of thing, this might be something where this person that's interested in you, there might be like a bit of are they interested or are they not? Because the type of person that you were interested in the past, there may have been, I don't know, say like you were interested in like those fuckboys that they'll shoot their shot with anybody, and you didn't, I don't know, you were raised to kind of be demure or whatever. So those guys, you could always count on them to kind of approach you in a certain way, and you speak that language and you understand what's going on. Over here, there's this different kind of person, and it's a different kind of courtship, and it's a different kind of dance. And so you might have to kind of, oh, you're asking me out, like kind of a thing, or like, say, yes, this is a great person. And this is like this is where the future is. This is what your future happiness is. But it's like your palate has changed or your palate is changing. So it's going to be one of those things where like, if you eat a little bit off of this palate and you want to then think that maybe you want to go back to the past, I don't know if you have had like, it was Star Crunch for me. Remember Star Crunches when we were a kid? Those like crispy, chocolatey, like caramely, I think it's like, is it Little Debbie? Like those cakes or whatever. I used to love those when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I could just inhale those. And I had one as an adult, and let me tell you, it was underwhelming. Okay, it was nasty. It was processed. It barely tasted like chocolate even. It had that kind of waxy, And I was like, man, I remember these being good. And I couldn't tell if they had changed which they probably have changed, like the ingredients and the packaging and the quality of everything, or if I had changed and like my palate. But it's going to be something like that, where once you get a taste of this, I think it might feel awkward at first. And then you're like, well, no, I think maybe this is going to taste like absolute dog shit. Like whatever it is that like you're going back to, you're going to be like, you're going to spit it out and be like, ew, I can't believe I ever dated that, ate that, was around that, was near that. I could spot that from a mile away now. That's healing. That shows you like your progress. So I feel like some of you are just like on the edge of discovering just how far you've really come. And it might just seem like another Wednesday. It might just seem like another step. And, this is, okay, I've been in a relationship before. This is another relationship. I've had a job before. This is another job. I've had a boss before. This is another boss. This is fundamentally different. And it's because you figured out certain things about yourself, why you are the way that you are. And so it doesn't have the hold on you that it did in this subconscious way. So you're no longer responding to the subconscious things. You're actually seeing the more conscious things. So that has, I think, in a way that you don't quite understand, it has sort of navigated you to a place where you are. And I don't mean that like in the sense that you don't understand, like it's woo woo. No, it's very real. Like the animal that you are isn't going in for those things because you're seeing something different now. Even like you're patterning on a subconscious level. You're catching like things that you weren't actually catching in the past. And so you're kind of like, no, I'm not going to go into that. But you do that as a calculation before you even kind of go into it. Whereas before you'd be like, oh, I think that broken boy over there in the corner, like might be the answer, that might be my soulmate, but now you just be like, no, I've been down that road before. I'm not interested. Ugh, like I couldn't even begin to get attracted. You know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of thing. So there's definitely like this new beginning. And it's like, again, yeah, I'm seeing like the two emperor energies and it's like some time has passed or something here. Like there's been something that's been played out. And this is specifically for somebody who has been in that like hermit mode. You've broken some type of mold here. But I don't think that you quite realize. I think some of you still feel kind of crumpled. You still feel like, I just put it back in, like, I just checked these cards so quick anymore, but it's like, there was a Queen of Pentacles, and in this deck, she has like a very crumply kind of dress. She looks kind of like sad and like downtrodden. maybe some of you felt like the karmic, because I know sometimes because the Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn energy and Capricorn Saturn and everything, sometimes that can be a karmic energy. But the Queen of Pentacles is honestly one of my favorite cards in the entire tarot. And that is Saturn energy, by the way, where like when it's bad, it's really, really bad. But no, when it was good, it was really, really good. But when it was bad, it was horrid. Like that is Saturn, because Saturn, when it's bad, it's all of your karmas. You don't understand how to deal with it. You're getting negative consequences and everything is just shit. But when you start to work with it, they say Saturn gives the best gifts. And I feel like you are that gift. Like you've really actually gone through the Saturnian process. And I feel like that Saturnian process looked very hermit. It looked like being alone. It looked like whatever. It sucked. Like, don't lie to yourself. I don't feel like you're lying to yourself. I feel like you were maybe upset with the universe. Why am I going through this? Like, why can't I la 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 la? But I think some of you had prayed for a spiritual awakening, or you had designated yourself as a spiritual person, meaning like something here, you took a hit on like a worldly level in some way where you didn't get what you wanted in 3D, whether that was a relationship like lickety split, or whether it was like a job or like, you know, a promotion or something here. You didn't get rewarded on the material, but you've already said to spirit, because I'm hearing that. What did you say? I'm seeing you like at a table or something. I'm even seeing like a letter some of you wrote to spirit. I'm hearing, what'd you say? What'd you say to me that day? And you said, I'm for God. And you said, I want a spiritual awakening. So you got taken on the path to God, where it's not about the material like rewards or whatever. You're going to see some real results from having done that. Like you're going to understand that you're like forever changed from having done that. But that's what happened. You went through that kind of process, the Saturnian process, and Saturn gives the best gifts, and it gives like gifts that you actually get to keep, because it's not actually a gift. The gift that you were given was the lesson and the knowledge of having worked through your karmas, and you'll never ask for another handout ever again. Not that you were asking for a handout, but you know what I'm saying, where you're kind of, it's not that you won't do this, because we all do this, but it's like, we're like, God, please take this away from me. It's like, you will understand like how you were actually helped through this process in a way that is so much better than you just being sort of given something without doing the work beneath. Because there was some type of energy, some type of sabotaging snake energy that was just going to sabotage this new opportunity if they brought it in before you had done the work. But this is a group that I'm talking to that has very much done the work. And notice how it took me a second to get on track with this particular reading, where I was like, well, what is this? Like, well, what am I looking at? Okay, why are you saying this? I feel like that's also going to be you in this situation, especially at first, or maybe like when this situation first started out, you're like, why am I dealing with this? Like, what is this? Okay. Or like you felt bored, because that was one thing where I was like, I'm bored, so I know you guys must be bored. And like certain people aren't going to want to listen to this. But I feel like, again, that's kind of maybe not their message or something. But like, it took me a second to kind of get on board, like, oh, that's what this is. Like through the process itself, I think it took you a second to be like, oh, this is an opportunity. This is empowerment. This is what empowerment looks like. It looks at meeting myself wherever I am, holding space for myself, learning how to work with myself. But I'm hearing it's like riding a bike. You'll never forget it again. And this process can be replicated. So whenever you like bump up against another wall, you already know the way. And wherever this is about to spit you out, you're just going to forever know, like, no, I did that process, because I'm hearing like, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you didn't really know if this was going to work or not. You really didn't know if you could really trust spirit. When spirit kept saying, trust me, and you didn't really know, you were like, I mean, I guess like, we'll see. And I think something here, it took a long time, or it took, like you really didn't get something you wanted here, but you're going to know now. You're going to know. So you can really move a mountain if you wanted to. But I feel like things are about to get happy. They're about to get like really good. You deserve it. You deserve it. This is healthy. You've also learned something here about this justice energy, this balance energy, this scale kind of energy, because I feel like sometimes in devil energy, for instance, like people will try to take something that they want, like the good thing, and then they pay for the price later. Like that's kind of the karmic way. But the conscious karmic way is you've built the deficit before by going through your suffering and like by actually like alchemizing something, and you get the reward at the end, and that balances it out. You've learned that process, and that makes you feel a little bit more in control, or makes you feel hopeful. Some of you have learned how to build hope in this situation, even if this kind of felt hopeless. It only felt hopeless because you didn't really trust that this was going to work out. If you were like, well, what if I put in all this effort and then like it really doesn't work? And I sit like a changed person, and I'm more conscious and I understand things, but it still didn't like help me, and spirit's not real. And like, you know what I'm saying? It's like all those like kind of doubts that are creeping in. No, you learned how to manufacture hope for yourself by taking control of that karmic process, the balancing out scales. You've learned that you don't have to fall to get back up, that you don't have to mess up and then get a karmic consequence. You've learned how to flip it. You've learned that you can take a hit consciously, because it's building up there, and you can interact consciously, and you can lean into something, and you can be a willing participant, and you can work with spirit, and you can learn, and you can say, I've been flying blind here. Teach me something better. And you can actually learn that. And then you get a reward. It seems like it's a reward, but you've earned it. It's balancing out the scales. You see what I'm saying? This is powerful. This is potent. So the lessons that you've learned is not just in whatever arena, like learning relationship skills or learning a new job skills or something. It's not about just that. You've learned a deeper, more sacred process, one that can be replicated in any arena. And this will stay with you in any arena, So you've fundamentally changed. You're fundamentally different. This is like very Phoenix energy. For some, because I feel like there's a couple of groups here. For some, like you've already done this, and they're probably going off in the chat. I haven't been looking, but they're probably saying like, yes, oh my gosh, like I feel this so strongly. But for others of you, I feel like you're getting ready to embark on this, where spirit is saying like you're about to enter a certain amount of process where you're going to have to kind of work through something. And maybe, especially if like this is a masculine energy who, again, I feel like they're dealing with a feminine energy who has done this, and like the proof is in her pudding kind of a thing. And spirit's like, all right, it's your turn. Do you trust? Do you trust me? That's what I'm seeing from Aladdin. Do you trust me? Meanwhile, there's like just a flying rug, and I feel like that's what spirit's saying is like, I can blow your mind with this shit. You've seen. Are you ready to do it? Like it feels something here like that could also be the case. And take it or leave it with the gender stuff, because I think some of you here, like, there's people in this group that have already been working towards this. And then there's new people that are coming in, and spirit's kind of asking them that question. Like, are you ready to consciously engage with that shadow work and to see where, like, how that spits out different results for you? Kind of a thing. So, okay. Nice. Nice. Blow out sail, must go. Once I realized that life is a constant lesson, things got easier, and I realized everything is a process for my progress. But I got to remember that too. Yes. Nice. All right. Well, I think that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for spending your Friday with me. For those of you that are on Patreon, we do have a Patreon live stream tomorrow at the same time. And what is it, babe? That's okay.
What is your role in their story?
What is your role in their story? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a juicy one. So patrons tomorrow, same time. That's our live stream topic. What is your role in their story? Ooh. Ooh. And that's all I have. That's all I have for you. Thanks, Bunny Butt, for the good vibrations. Nice. Okay. I recently read somewhere that spiritual growth all boils down to gaining perspective of all situations around us. Yeah. I love you guys. Let's meet in the 5D. All right. So I'm going to go rest my voice, and I got a piece of cake in there, and I'm going to tear into that. So, okay. And I've been thinking about that for the last like 30 minutes, but really? I know. Anyways, food motivated. All right. So I'm going to leave that there. Bye, guys.